Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Crazy Uncle Dave's house. How y'all doing tonight? I hope everyone's doing well. And without further ado, we're just going to jump right in. Welcome to the It's Crazy Late with UncleCrazyDave. Tonight, our special guest, MarlowRaku, the raccoon detective. So please, big round of applause for Marlow. Welcome him to the stage.
Hey, what's up? How's it going? Oh,
Hey.
are we live?
Yeah, we are live. We are live.
Hello?
And hello. Oh my God, stop. This applause is way too long. I meant to trim it down and I never did. I'm an idiot.
I can't hear you on my end. I can hear. I had to hear your street. There it is. But no, I can't hear it on my end, unfortunately.
Oh, you can't hear all the applause and all that other crap going on your end?
Nah.
Navy medic, my boy, welcome. How you doing tonight?
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, all one of us, besides me. Marlow, say hello to my mod, Navy. Navy.
What's up, Navy?
This is Marlow. This is my boy. This is you got to check this guy out, Navy. You got to check this guy out. He's a lot of fun.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
So
out every now and
then. Let's start off. Please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do on the Twitters. Hey, Pancake, welcome.
Hey, Pancake, what's up? So my name is MarlowRaku. I'm a raccoon VTuber who's also a detective. I'm more a variety streamer, though I do pretty much have a fondness for JRPG games, so I do play a lot of like RPG games and horror games lately. Other than that, on Twitter, I post random stuff, mostly just comment stuff like that. I need to get better at Twitter. I'm actually really bad at it.
We all need to get better at Twitter, my friend. We all do. I got on today and I realized, oh my God, I haven't even looked at my Twitter in a couple of days. And I've started scrolling and I was like, oh wow, a lot has been happening apparently. I need to react to some of this.
Oh, I think I know why my voice is coming in twice, because it is. Give me 1 sec.
Okay, yeah, no worries.
I think it's coming through the Discord too. Let me try this.
Are you coming through? You're coming through Discord on my end.
There we go. Okay, how about this? This should just be one.
That fixes it. Yeah, just pick one. All right.
But yeah, that's kind of my stick right now. Kind of in between cases. Not really. Cases are kind of drying up lately. Not really too much going on. To the point where I have found myself living in my office, but it's a nice office. It's a nice desk.
It's a good desk to sleep on or under.
Yeah, especially under.
That's a beautiful thing.
Great great for commute to work.
Yes. Amen. When the commute to work is less than 30 seconds and the commute to the coffee pot is less than 10, we're good to go.
So actually funny about that, like in IRL, because I live in the city, like I actually do live in like my downtown area of my city. The closer I am to work, the later I am. Which is I think it's because of that like false security you have in the back of your head, like, oh, my work is just right down the block. I can get there whenever. I can sleep in an extra like 10-20 minutes. And then all of a sudden I'm 10-20 minutes late.
Oh yeah, no, I completely get that. I've had jobs as far as an hour and a half away. Well, longer than that. But I've had jobs longer than an hour away and jobs 30 minutes away, 20 minutes away, 8 minutes away. And the one I was always late to was the one that was 8 minutes away. It never failed. Oh, it only takes me 8 minutes to get there. Yeah, that's or 9 minutes to get there, whatever. I'm good, but I always get behind, somebody else, and it's always a local yokel who is on their Sunday drive or decides that they want to make a left-hand turn from the right-hand lane or something, or, oh, hey, I'm on a back road. I don't have to worry about anything. Yeah, no. I feel your pain, brother. I feel your pain. So, let's see. You know, when I discovered you because of through Sea Wrench Wench, love her, and I hope to have her on one day and one day soon. Would be great. But I think she had raided into you.
Yeah, she did. In fact, I think I remember it was. I think I was actually playing 12 minutes, which is a really great game. I really want to actually play that again. Very great story-based mystery game where you have to read. It's a Groundhog's Day kind of game where you have to repeat the same 12 minutes. But yeah, I think that was the game she rated.
I believe that was the one she had raided in on that I just happened to be along for the raid, and I have, hey, Anime Jane, how you doing tonight? We'll say hello to MarlowRaku, and we're talking with him about actually about our first meeting. You can barely hear my partner. Okay, let me go to
What if
my.
I do this? Hold on, let me do. Well, I guess I'm not sure if that's in your end or my end. Shut up.
Give yourself a little volume and let's see what happens here.
Gotcha.
Because my end, you're looking right.
Maybe I should do the other mic, the one from the VOD. Oh, there, mind. Oh, there. Let's try this one real quick. Let me mute this.
Thanks for that heads up, Jane.
Okay, how do I sound now?
Oh, that's much better, even on my end for me. How's that, Jane? Does that help?
Always with the technical difficulties.
Yeah, streaming, it's just a life of death traps. Need you say, give us another test there.
Testing. Raccoons. Trash cans are cool. Stop blocking them.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, yeah, cool. So we're good to go. Awesome. All right. But yeah, so I come in and I found it amusing that there was when we rated in, that brought you up to like 20 or so viewers, I think.
Oh yeah, what? No, I remember that day because I was like, what? No, I maybe it was 20 minutes, but yeah, I didn't remember that actually. That was like one of the higher streams.
Yeah, you had a pretty decent view count compared to the people that we all know and love and hang out with. And we were all chit chatting, and I got into some good conversation with you, and we all were having good conversation. And next thing I know, everybody starts dropping out, and I think it ended up being you, me, Pancake, and like one or two other people, and we were just having a grand old time. And then the next time I saw you streaming, you were probably 2 or 3 sessions into Persona 4.
Oh yeah, that's actually, and like that's one of the games I want to play most. In fact, it's one of the games that I really want to stream. Like that kind of got me streaming. Like when I started looking at things, like Persona 4 will definitely be a game that I'm going to stream no matter what.
Yes, and boy, I'm glad you did. But you got me so drawn into the story of Persona 4, and I honestly, I'd never played it. I actually watched my daughter play P5. And I still haven't played P5. I want to play the Persona games so bad. But you got me so sucked into the story and everything. And we're having some great conversation throughout that. And I'm really upset with myself for missing you completing P4. Oh my God.
I do actually plan to play it again soon. Well, not soon, but I do plan to play it on New Game Plus with the intended goal to get all the social links. And with New Game Plus for Persona, you can focus more on the story. Like you don't have to really worry about the level grinding, which there was a lot of. There was one stream where we didn't even touch the story. It was just me level grinding, and that was not planned. I was like, well, let's see, let's just get to a certain level, and the next thing I know, 3 hours later, we're still in the dungeon just grinding.
Yeah, I think I recall that. I think I was there for that. But I think that was a stream where we were having a lot of fun. And then you discovered hey, I'm just going to do some just chatting. And I think that was a wonderful stream. You're just chatting one, and I was there. Pancake showed up at some point. We made a bunch of new friends that night.
Just chatting are fun. The problem is I don't know really what to do on just chatting streams. Like I'm still really working out like how to get comfortable with them. because it is just me kind of like it's almost like a stand-up comedy thing in a weird way, and that's kind of the way I've been thinking about them lately.
And no, you are absolutely right. It is. Um, and it's tough, and I've been doing a lot of that. Not so much these last couple of weeks. I've actually been dealing with a shoulder injury. I was out doing some yard work, and instead of grabbing the chainsaw, I grabbed the hand axe and took down about 4 or 5 trees, and I tore my ACL, or my rotator cuff. And yeah, so I've been dealing with that little bit of pain. I didn't realize that I'd done anything to it for, the first day, but when I woke up, when I went to sleep, I slept wrong, and I woke up and oh my God, I was in pain. I was like, okay, this is just regular muscle fatigue. I'll just kind of wait it out, take it easy. But no, I go to work, I aggravate it a lot, and at the end of a week, yesterday I finally said I got to go to a doc in a box. It was bad. It was real bad. But I am on the mend now. I am actually feeling a lot better. I got a little bit forward, although I got to go see a specialist on Monday. But that's just my life, and it's kind of kept me off the computer, which probably has not been a bad thing these last couple of days. It allowed me to pull my brain back together.
Which is always good, especially relaxing and taking a step back.
Yeah.
Sometimes I had to do that, especially with just like working and everything. Like there's some nights coming home, I just feel like passing out. But
Yeah.
it's actually streaming is interesting to me because it's like to me it's like when I was younger going out. Well, I still do, but like those nights of like going out, right? I didn't feel like going out, but then I'm just like, if I get there, I'll be fine. I'll have that energy to be out and I'll enjoy my time there. That's kind of what streaming is because there's like sometimes when I'll get home, I'll like, do I have the feeling in me to stream? But then once it goes live, I get like that weird energy boost. I'm like, yeah, this is great. I'm actually having a good time.
Good. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. And it's so true. You're so right. So let's get to some questions, brother. Tell me,
Yes.
if you weren't doing this, if you weren't streaming, what would you be doing? Whoa, I am a big head guy now.
It's a good old stage.
I love how my model just loves to reset periodically.
I'm not sure how yours works, but I know there's a way to lock it, and that's kind of what mine is. That's why mine doesn't like.
There is a way
get
to
bigger,
lock
smaller.
it, but for some reason when I mouse off that screen, it unlocks.
Yeah.
It's just like, all up in your face. So yeah, so if you weren't streaming, if you hadn't discovered the streaming, the Twitch bug, the YouTube bug, whatever, if you hadn't discovered that and found an avatar and got you doing this, what would you be doing?
So I thought about that here and there. I would probably be focusing more on like either DMing, honestly. Um, so like it will definitely be a lot more as far as like trying to get good at like some kind of like weird side thing. It would definitely be DMing. Um, that or I probably would still be going out a lot. And that's actually one of the nice things about streaming is streaming has made me really good at just not like even though I don't like I'm not demonizing anything, but I used to drink a lot, and so streaming has kind of helped me not drink a lot anymore, and like actually kind of grounded me in a lot of ways, which I appreciate. But yeah, I
Okay.
probably would still be the same party raccoon I used to always be.
Dude, there's nothing wrong with being a party raccoon or, just whatever. And there are, I'm sure there are a few people in my chat that can tell you that I've thrown some wild ones in my time, and we've had some great times, and it's wonderful to do. But yeah, as I've gotten older, I can't do it every week anymore.
Well, it was getting weird to the point, especially with the pandemic and all that. Like man, my bar tabs are getting close to like almost $100 a night. Sometimes they did hit that, so I was like, Well, the problem is too is because I'm one of those idiots who are like, I like being around people, and I like being in like not big crowds, but I do like being in like crowds and like getting that vibe where everyone's just chilling and hanging out. So I'm that person's like, let's buy more rounds and drinks. And the next thing I know, oh, why am I spending $200 tonight? Oh, that's why I'm that guy now.
Yeah, yeah. Anime hydrate. God, I gotta learn how to talk. Anime Jane redeemed a hydrate. So take a sip of water. Everybody, if you're watching me, when those redeems go up, it goes for you guys too.
With water.
Water or Pepsi or some virgin drink. Ah, there we go.
But there is actually one nice thing about taking a break from like partying and stuff like that is I mean, like, cause like when you're a regular at a place, you show up, you have that regular group there. Everyone's like, "Hey, how you doing? What's your day?" You become a regular at a bar. It's a really interesting feeling because you don't know a bunch of people, but you don't really know them, kind of thing. But
Yeah.
like when you're gone for a while to come back, like it's like it's like the return or
The prodigal son returns. Oh my
yeah,
God! It's a real party now.
it's like the crowd, like I wasn't that big. I wasn't the main like life party earlier. Like, hey, it's you. What's up? Like you feel like you're brand new. Like you just walk right in, and everyone's like, it's like you just got back from like some long trip or war like that. Like,
Yeah.
How was it on the other side?
I just got back from backpacking across Europe. That's what it was. Yeah, I missed you guys a lot. And the great thing about those nights is your bar tab ends up being so much smaller because so many people buy you drinks for not seeing you in forever. Question from Anime Jane: what's your favorite virgin drink? She's asking me and you, so let's start with you.
Actually, I've been getting, and this is actually because of the fact I haven't been drinking that much anymore. Jones soda. A lot of bars have Jones in them. So whenever I don't want to drink a lot, I just drink Jones. And I've been getting really into those
which flavor? Which flavor?
It's this sounds childish, but it's the blue one.
Oh,
because that's how I remember drinks flavors. This tastes blue.
Yeah. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. I dig that. I actually like the Jones cream soda. But the blueberry is fantastic.
Yeah.
Actually, my drink of choice, and Jane, you know this, is Pepsi. I drink it by the case per day. And I'm not even lying. I've got a 6-pack of, what are these? These are 16.9 fluid ounces. So, and I've already gone through one 6-pack in today, and I am about to crack into my second. So, and if a certain somebody comes in here who loves to spam those hydrates, I could easily go through 3 of those while we're talking and doing this, and then I'll probably go through the other 3 over the course of the night because, I still keep those stupid hours. I'm on Japanese time or Australian time or something like that, so I'll be up until about 4 or 5 in the morning.
Oh, I got bad, especially this past weekend. I've been getting really into Warhammer 3 Total War. I was up to 8 in the morning fighting one war. Those points aren't transferable, Pancake.
Marlow, are you streaming? Are you streaming this as well?
Oh, no.
Damn, Pancake, I was going to say, we could do that and that's what we'll do. Next time Marlow streams, Pancake, you and I will get in there and we'll just start spamming hydrates with our points. Because I know how many points I have, and I know Pancake has more points than I do. So.
Oh, actually, talking about like virgin drinks and stuff like that. One of the funniest things. So even before I kind of like slow down drinking, I would always go to what I call sobriety months. Kind of like my way of just like, I normally did it during the beginning of the first month of school when I was going to college, just to have like that entire month be, on the ball, get on my assignments, plan my school schedule accordingly. So the first time I did that, I went to a bar and I was like, man, I don't know what I'm going to drink here. And my friend's like, what do you mean? Well, I'm not drinking this month. I'm actually college just started. So I want to be sober for the whole, get my stuff together, not mess anything up. And, my friend's like, you can order soda. Like, what? Yeah. Bars have like Coke and Sprite and stuff. Do they really? It's like I had no idea. That was I never learned that. I never learned that you can get soda at bars.
Okay.
They gave me a weird, disappointing look. Like, where do you think Coke and where do you think they get the Coke for the rum from, you idiot?
Yeah, it's alcoholic Coke is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. It's special Coke.
Yeah, it's the special Coke. All right, let's pull up to the desk there a little bit. There we go. All right, I'm tracking again. I happen to look over and I'm like, why am I not moving? What happened to my tracking?
I keep so many screens up just looking at. In fact, that's the reason why I want a third screen.
Yeah, I know. I want to get a third screen too. So that's going to happen eventually. It's going to happen. So yeah, if you want to help me get to that so that I can see that I'm not tracking faster, donations, you know where the donate button is. I hope it may be set up. Coke and rum? Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Why not? Anime James asking.
Always go to that Coke and rum is my always go to, and then someone introduced me to white rum, and yeah, that changed my life. Not all bars have white rum though, which is sad, but white rum is now my if it's available, that's where I always go. That's what I always go for.
You go for white rum straight up?
Yeah, no Coke in it, but because I used to always do spice rum, but now that I discovered white rum, I'm now into white rum.
Actually, I got a spice rum here at my feet. Calico Jack number 94, 94 proof spice rum, and it is quite tasty. But I am taking my time with it. I've learned how to take time with things. Except we went to a music festival a couple of years ago, or a year and a half or so ago, or something. That my youngest daughter invited us to, with her boyfriend was playing there, and it was some great music. But it was in this little hotel, and we sat there, and it was the music fest was just off the bar, and we sit up at the bar, and your crazy aunt said to me, "Hey, we're gonna stay cash at the bar, okay? And we'll just buy the drinks as we go." And then she immediately buys me a drink, buys my daughter and her boyfriend a drink, buys her a drink, and they all immediately wander off. And I just sit at the bar, and I finish my drink, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, where the hell are they? I can hear the music perfectly fine. I'm vibing to it and having some good conversation around the bar. And I look around, I'm like, I'm ready for another drink. Bartender comes over and says, what can I get you? And I was like, I'll have another Johnny Walker Black, neat. And she throws the price out there, and I just like look at my wallet, and a couple of moths fly out. So I just pull out my card and say, here we go, start me a tab. Needless to say, about 4 Johnny Walkers later, your crazy aunt shows back up and says, "Oh, how'd you get that?" She knows I don't keep any cash on me. I said, "I started a tab." And she goes, "Oh, so what number is that?" I said, "I don't know. I stopped counting." And she goes, "Oh no." And I went, "Yeah, it's no big whoop." So I drank myself through not 1, but 2 bottles of Johnny Walker Black. They cracked open a third, and I had bought a round of drinks for the bar, which there was like 5 or 6 people there. And but other than those 5 or 6, everything else was on me. Was in me. And I did get up and walk away, and I did pay that tab off, and Crazy Aunt had kept track of how much she had spent cash on the bar, and she said, between the 3 of us, we had about $85-$95 worth I was like, well, good for you. All right. She goes, I happened to check the the bank statement. Your tab was over $400.
Dang.
How many rounds did you buy the bar? I said, I bought them one, but there was only 5 people there. She goes, you drank that much? And I was like, yeah. But it was well worth it. It was such a good musical fest. It really was.
Music festivals, and like something I've definitely found in downtown, like living down here, is like, I mean, it's weird, but beers, the price of alcohol changes on where you're drinking it at.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
There is sometimes I actually do. I have what I call my hole in the wall bars, where I will like leave the city for a little bit and just go into these bars, these places where it's definitely hole in the wall bars. Like I think some of them look like they come out of a country like movie or something like that. You just walk in, people there talk
Blaze!
about like hardcore jobs like that.
Thanks
And
for the
it is,
follow.
oh, cool. Yeah, but I walk in there and the record shop. There's actually one bar and it has the name of, in fact, I'm not even afraid to say the name of the bar because it's such a generic name, but it's like, well, I'll change the name a little bit, but it's basically like Mosey on in. That's basically what it's called.
Okay.
It looks like a D&D bar. Like it just
Oh,
it
I
looks
love
like
those.
but it looks like something like you would play it. Your party will go into in a D&D campaign. I'm always expecting to come in and just hear like the bartender look at me like, there's a situation going on a block away. It's like, I'm in.
I'm in. Let's go.
Quest.
Give me the quest. Oh, quest. Great quest giver. Give me a quest and a rum and coke. Let's see. Let's talk here for a second. Pancake. My go-to drink is tea and peppermint schnapps. That's not bad. That's not bad. I have a boba tea. I like getting a boba tea that's like that. And used to like it. Used to like getting it from one of my local. There was a bubble tea shop that we had that had an alcohol license as well, and they would spike some of their boba teas because oh my god, it was so fantastic. Oh yeah. But yeah, I would get a what was it? It was a leche green tea with a shot of, I think it was peach schnapps. I think it was peach. I could be wrong. It may have been a different flavored schnapps, but there was a schnapps in it, and it was so good, so good. And then Pancake says, "This is why I drink at home. My schnapps are $12 for a bottle." Brother, I get you. And there are people that are in chat that could probably confirm that I have had many parties here at Casa de Dave, and it's been basically admission to my parties is some meat for the grill and a bottle of your choosing for mixing drinks. And actually, those are my New Year's party. That's usually for my New Year's party. When I have a New Year's Eve party, hey, bring a couple of pounds of meat for the grill, because I fire up the grill. Let's say New Year's falls on a Saturday. I'll fire up the grill on Thursday night and turn it off on Monday morning, because I will take all those days off. And I will have people that will start showing up Thursday for my New Year's party, and they will hang around all freaking weekend. And sometime around sunrise on Monday morning, before we all finally die completely for the last time before we go home, we'll have a toast, and I will cook us breakfast on the grill.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Oh yeah, but the thing just stays going. It's gonna be fantastic.
I don't have parties, Pancake. That's a message. Well, actually, funny we mentioned that too. So I have accidental parties.
I've had those too.
Well, this was a little crazy. So I used to live in a studio house. It wasn't an apartment; it was a studio house. Basically, the guy divided the house in two, and I had a backyard and this decent sized studio, in the college area. There was a night where I accidentally invited an entire bar back there, where So there's like this really, it's like a rave bar. It's a lot more music, a lot more dancing, rave music. It's that kind of scene, kind of punk alternative scene. And one of my friends who I drove him home a few times, so I know he lives like basically the state next to mine. And so I see he's really drunk. I'm like, hey dude, you want me to get you home or anything? I want to get you a ride. Make sure you get home safe. That's what I said. What I think he heard was, "Hey, you want to have an after party at my place?" So he looks at me. I look at him. I think he understood what I said. He did not, apparently. So he disappears in the crowd, and he says, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, okay, cool. Let me go talk to some people real quick, and I'm gonna close my tab." I'm like, "Cool. I'm gonna grab one more drink and close my tab." So I close my tab and get my last drink, go into the dance floor to listen to the DJ, and the guy comes like, "Hey, where's your address at?" I'm like, "Why is this random guy asking me where my address is?" I'm like, "Wait, what?" Like, "Yeah, after party's at your place, right? Because that's where everyone's going." And I'm like,
Oh, okay.
who is everybody?
Who's everybody, and how come they're coming to my place?
I don't know how they got my address. I guess so. I guess it was another friend of mine's in the party that knew where I lived, and so they're like, "Yeah, we're all going to Marlow's place for the after party." I'm like, oh no! So I immediately like finished my drink. I'm like, all right, so everyone's going to my place. I'm gonna quickly go back home real quick. If I am lucky, I can beat people there. So I was not that lucky. Some people actually beat me back to my own place. Luckily, I already had everything kind of cleaned up and had an open area because I had a VR headset, so I always kept that middle area cleared out for that. So there wasn't much. I didn't have much stuff. So next thing I knew, people started showing up just out of like vans and stuff, and it was I don't know how many people were there, but they were in my backyard, they were in my kitchen, they were. I'm not surprised that the thing broke, but there was so many people. I'm like, huh, this this escalated a little bit out of control. Also, where's the booze coming from? And my friend, and we'll call him Fox, he kept showing up like, yeah, that's what. Sorry, I'm late. I'm like, what do you mean you're late? How are you the last one here? He's like, well, you told us you didn't have much alcohol in your house. I'm like, yeah, that was kind of my way to chase some of you off. And so he shows up with a bunch of like this like 12 packs and some other beer, just like passing it out. And yeah, my place was just going off with like loud music, everything. And I'm very lucky at that point. I lived in a college area, so that was normal for a weekend. Like no one was going to call the cops or cause any issues.
Yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing. Living in college towns, it's a thing.
It was just out of control. And I remember just thinking like we did have to kick one person out because he was a little too out of hand. Like he was nice and everything. He just he trashed my lamp. That was the only casualty of that night was a broken lamp.
It could have been so much worse. Hey, Nightmare Tia, how you doing, my dear? Good to see you. Glad to have you with us. And yes, it is indeed a raccoon detective bean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, luckily that was the only casualty. It was I mean, it was a fun night, but it was a weird night. And the thing is, the next day, woke up with several other people passed on my place, going, "Huh, this last night was weird." Just people waking up.
So let's talk about when you first started. Were you embarrassed to tell people about what you did?
So at first, yes. So it was embarrassment as much as it was me and my friends trying to figure out like how much information am I going to give people. Like like I guess the idea because back when I was really getting into VTubing, looking at it, it was very people weren't really giving out their real names or pictures or anything like that often. So the idea at the time was it wasn't I was embarrassed, but more that we're gonna hide my identity and also too just with like work like my personal work stuff, it would probably be better if it didn't connect to it.
That's
But
fair.
there was just I'm too much of an open person. I'm very easygoing with my information. Like I don't really hide stuff. Like it pretty muchly I kind of wear what's the term? Oh, I guess I have everything on my sleeve, I guess. Um so so it was like very easy for me to say like, oh yeah, I'm doing this and I got the big thing that were my friends actually started finding out like my outs like the people who didn't know in my in group was when I finally started getting the design and rigging done. And I was just so excited. It was hard for me to keep it to myself. Like, look at this. This is my V2 model. Like, I was just showing everyone. And then
I
my
know
mod,
when you first get your model, when you first start getting it back, it's just way too much to try. You're like, I gotta let somebody know, and that somebody always inevitably turns into like everyone you know.
well, the funny thing is, my mod did not see at the time. My mod was thinking, all right, we're gonna keep this a secret. We're not gonna tell many people. And so we decided to go out one night to our regular bar, and everyone's like, "Hey, how's that VTube thing going?" He's like, "Marlo, how many people know about this? How many people are at the bar right now?" He's like, "What?" He's like, everyone. He's like, everyone's more like, and he's all like, "Yeah, you were just running around like, so like, look, that's me, like showing the picture."
like that episode of The Big Bang Theory when Sheldon goes to the Texas bar and tells everybody about the secret project that they're working on for the government.
Basically,
don't tell anybody. Everybody swear you're not going to say a word.
But yeah, that was basically it. Like I said, it wasn't embarrassment. More like it was me trying to figure out how much I'll keep it hidden. But no, at the end, most of my friends most of my friends know.
Oh yeah, and when I first, and I think you even visited one or two of my streams. I was a flesh streamer, and I probably still will flesh stream upon occasion. I've never been one to say, hey, this whole thing is going to be under wraps, that it's going to be a complete and total secret. As a matter of fact, when I showed the original art that I had gotten back from the Fiverr artists. That was part of the, hey, I got this, check this out, what do you guys think? And when I talked to Lizzie, I was so excited that she even asked me, she goes, so I'm probably going to work on your model on stream for content. Do you mind? And I was like, no, please do. And I was telling people, hey, go check out Lizzie's stream if you want to see my model come to life. And it would take a lot of deleting of your old stuff to cover your old self.
Oh, yeah.
Blaze, you are so absolutely right. But you know what? I don't care. As a matter of fact, one of the things I do before but when I start to stream is I actually post the link on my Facebook, my personal Facebook. Hey, I'm going live. Come to twitch.tv, UncleCrazyDave. So anybody who follows me on Facebook, which is probably about, it's all of my family, my friends, and probably half of my high school graduating class, and some others. They all know. Hell, former co-workers know. I don't care. I got a little bit of merch. I've worn my UncleCrazyDave shirt to work, and a couple of people go, you're crazy. You're advertising yourself on yourself, and you're not afraid to admit it. I'm like, no, I'm not.
It's not a bad idea, actually.
I don't care. I would love to have other people come and discover me. And now that I've figured out what my content is, which is going to be this going forward, yeah, I'll do some other streams, but I want to promote you, Marlow. I want to promote Lizzie. I want to promote Nightmare Tia. I'm going to have you on, and we need to talk. I've gone over your questionnaire and everything, and we need to set up a schedule. I want to get you on. Get a tattoo advertising my streams right across my forehead, Pancake. It's coming. It's coming. I'm going to get the dragon coming up my neck, and, I'll have to shave off part of the beard, but, to get that up there, and then across the top of the forehead, the head is going to be, twitch.tv/UncleCrazyDave, and the big A there, that's going to be the eye of the dragon. But yeah, no, it's crazy late. This show is going to be the main thing I promote. And I'm working on video editing. I've actually got the first one from my debut up, and it's a very, very rough cut. I'm working on some other stuff for the Lizzie interview part with the It's Crazy Late and having Lizzie in. So I'm working on that a little bit more and trying to do a little bit better. There's a lot to learn, trying to learn video editing from the ground up. And then
that's what I'm doing.
I'm going to do that with this, and I'm going to post these on YouTube at some point, and hopefully can garner a following, and catch some more people. I would love to. And I would love to get more people following me and joining in and coming in, because I want to get outside of our little group, Sea Wrench, Lizzie, Nightmare, Tia, Hellbilly, Diamond Killer, you, and a couple of others. And I want to get I want to break out of that group for other small VTubers and newly debuted VTubers that I want to point people in my direction, because I want to showcase you guys too, because we're a hell of a community, the whole VTubing community, from you, me, and all these other small guys to the people that have hundreds of thousands, if not a million followers. And the whole community on the surface, on the whole, is amazing. And we are all so very supportive of each other. Do we have our little bits of drama here and there? Yeah, absolutely we do. But generally speaking, this is one of the nicest communities I know.
I can't wait to have to make an apology video.
Oh, yeah. That's going to happen. And it's going to happen for me, too. I probably needed to make one.
I already got all scripted out. I'm blaming Pancake. Immediately.
Yeah. You're going to have to, you need to make an apology video for Pancake.
I'm just going to blame my chat.
Blame me if you have to. I don't care.
Throw everyone under the bus.
Yeah.
It was everyone's fault around me but me.
All right, Pancake, you have a great evening. I see that you're heading out. And take care, brother. And love you. And let's see. Hell, I haven't even debuted yet. Tia, I can't wait to see your 2.0 model. I really cannot. And but we can't. We can have you on anytime, whether you want to use Nightmare 1.0, 1.5. It doesn't matter. I want to have you on very soon. And Blaze, when you get that, brother, when you get yourself set up and you get to where you want, I'll have you on. I'll have you on in flesh if you want. I don't care, because Blaze was one of my first active followers and supporters, and I love him. And he's fallen across some rough times. He's had some issues of late, and he disappeared, and he disappeared for about a month and a half, and I was so worried about him, because I knew he was in Hawaii, and I hope you don't mind me saying this, but I know he's a dash driver, and he disappeared, and he drives a scooter for dashing, and I had some of the worst thoughts in my life, thinking he had fallen down the side of one of the volcanoes somewhere, ended up in a lava flow, and we lost Blaze, and I was super sad. And then he's like, "Hey, I'm here. I'm alive." And I was like, "Oh my God, where the fuck have you been?" And he told me what had happened, and I was like, "Dude, I am so happy." And he was like, "That's messed up." And I'm like, "No, I thought you were dead."
I mean, when that's the bar, I guess anything else would have been like preferable, I guess.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. If I fell in lava, I would be fine. I'm Blaze. He don't bother me.
Out like a phoenix.
That's fair. That could be fair. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is, Blaze, you're a real one, brother. Love you. Let's see. And Tia, yes, we know you cannot die, and we are so happy for that too, my girl. Let's see. Well, speaking of other VTubers, and I've talked about how I'm all over the place. I love big tubers, I love small VTubers, I love medium VTubers, and I have a few of my favorites. What are some of yours, Marlow?
So I guess, as far as like some of my favorite ones is I guess the one that got me into VTubing in the beginning, the one that I followed for years, was probably Nanners. I will be honest, I am definitely a big Nanners fan, Stan, whatever you want to call it. Because I remember following her through the back when she used to be on like doing YouTube music videos and stuff like that. Also knew me because I ran into her very early. Which she just hit 100K, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, Numi, who actually been a regular in her community, kind of like inspired me to keep pushing this because I don't know, something about that energy she has that
yeah, I love Numi's energy. I love Nanners too. But my folks know that I am a huge Iron Mouse fan and Project Melody as far as the girls of VShojo. I love all the girls of VShojo.
Which actually, funny enough, even being a Nanners fan, I did not know about her VTubing. I knew about Project Melody, I think was my first VTuber. And I don't remember how she came about. I think a friend of mine was showing me something about her. I saw something about her on YouTube.
My first VTuber was a VTuber named by the name of Max Headroom.
I know what you're talking about.
Max Headroom, and fight me on this, folks. Max Headroom was and is the original, very first VTuber. Fight me on it. Prove me wrong. I dare you.
I know what you're talking about.
And clip that shit.
I guess technically, I guess technically he was a VTuber.
Yes, he was VTubing before VTubing existed. No, my first air quotes VTuber style VTuber. Well, no, my first official VTuber. Let's put it that way, in air quotes, was Kazuna Ai. I actually watched her debut and followed her for a while, and then I kind of didn't touch YouTube or anything unless I was looking up how to change a serpentine belt on a Nissan, or how do I fix this motor equipment, or looking up these practical or painting tips for miniatures or whatever else I was interested in at the time. And then I was watching a who was it? I think it was a Tectone thing, because I was into Genshin, and I was watching Tectone host a contest, and he had like 4 people, and one of them was Nux Taku, and for some reason I started watching that, and then I started watching Nux, and I was like, okay, this guy's kind of cool. And I enjoyed the chaos that he had. And he turned me on to Project Melody. I watched a collab of theirs, and then I watched a lot of Project Melody. And then I discovered, Lord Nuxanor. And then I discovered all the other girls in VShojo, and was just enamored after that. Lately, I have become a big fan of Niji Sanji. Specifically, I would have to say, after going through several, I have fallen on Selene. And Selene Tatsuki from Niji Sanji EN has just been gold for me. There's so much I love about her. She's just chaos incarnate, and I dig that.
do you see more Ninja Challenge stuff? Like, because like I was
Mantis,
having for a little bit.
long time no see, my brother. How have you been? Welcome to the show.
Sorry, but like, for me, like it was very interesting because I didn't know anything about VTubing. I had a friend who was more into it than I was, who really got me into it and just started teaching me like everything about it. Started talking about the models, started about how things worked and commissioning and all that.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Actually, it was. I think it was Iron Mouse. Watching some of the early Iron Mouse stuff got me thinking about, hey, I could do this. And actually, this will tie into my next question. Yeah, it's been a very long time, Mantis, very long time. But leading into my next question here is it got me thinking about it, and it actually wasn't Iron Mouse. It was I was watching some other flesh tubers that I'd followed over from a flesh tuber I'd followed over from TikTok, and she raided into to Valora, who is a flesh tuber also, a flesh streamer, and Valora does a lot of crafts and stuff online, and it was actually Valora who got me to hit the go live button for the first time. But then watching Iron Mouse is the one that got me going, I could do a VTuber, and I think I would have a lot of fun at it. And that's where the origin of this guy, well, the origin of this guy was actually a couple of months later when I was attending my nephew's wedding, is where I came up with the concept for what we have before us. So, but that leads to my question. What was your inspiration to hit the go live button for the very first time?
Well, it was actually because so I always wanted to do something online, like streaming or videos or something like that. But it was always that barrier of like, well, first you have to learn how to do the stuff, like get your equipment ready, your gear, and all that. And then on top of that, there's also like I don't know if I really want to put my face out there, get ready every time I turn the live camera. So VTubing kind of seemed like that great thing where like I don't have to like get dressed up. I can just start streaming with the model. Um, Also, this is like it's like fun. I mean, being into, I mean, obviously, like there's that stereotypical being into anime thing. Basically, that's kind of what VTubing is just becoming an anime character. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to go live just to basically to start doing something online, to start making videos without having putting like my actual face out there.
Okay.
And there's also like some kind of it's more comfortable when you have like this little anonymity kind of style to it. Because I think I remember joking around with my admin. I was like, well, if everything crashes and burns, we can walk away from it without a scratch. That was always the running joke. Like, and if everything fails, we can just slowly back away from the car accident without knowing we crashed the car.
Nah, it's a hit and run. Yeah, we did this thing, but we didn't do this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Tia's got a question for us. What are your thoughts on V Misfits? It's a shameless plug for her group, and that's Tia, C Wrench, Lizzie, and Brad. Am I right? It's you four, right? Tia?
Sounds like a good group.
Yeah, it is a fantastic group, and I can't wait for Lizzie to get to get her her to go live live on YouTube. She has decided to move from Twitch over to YouTube, and she's setting her debut on YouTube up for sometime in the beginning of July, I believe. I don't think she's put a date out there, but I want to say like around the 7th, 8th. I'm not 100% certain. But when I find out the hard date, I will put that out there for everybody because she is the artist and rigger of this glorious, majestic individual you see behind the desk. Speaking of which, would you like to shout out your artist and rigger?
But yeah, I'm very bad at pronouncing names. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure I pronounce everything correctly here. God, I hope I don't mess up the names. Like, and that's like another thing too. I think I'm famous for like not pronouncing shit correctly.
You and me
Really
both,
quick.
brother. You and me both.
All right, so let's start with the artist is Nate. Our Pit. He kind of goes by both. You can find him on Twitter if you just type in Nate/Pit, and then Mono Senpai is the rigger.
Okay. Okay.
Also, I want to just like one more shout real quick with
Yeah.
Freya, who's also a succubus VTuber. She's the one who does a lot of my background art. So like my desk, excuse me, my desk, my office, and like my closing screen. She did all that art.
Really?
Yeah.
Do me a favor. After this or whenever in Discord, in our Discord chat, you and I send me your send me that information.
Hey, I got you. Yeah.
And actually, I've got some work being done by the wonderful Serena, and I will send you her information, an example of a background she's doing for me. If you might be interested in something like that in the near future, she's really, really good, really, really good. And I will definitely be putting that information into the YouTube about comment section. And Nightmare Tia is working on some emotes for me, which, yeah, as a matter of fact, Tia, throw the throw your rave party emote back up there, because this emote is awesome. I love this. Show us your rave, dear. There we go.
Oh, that is really cool.
It's her and the rave lights. It's awesome, and she's actually doing that for me. But the rave lights will be in my colors, the pink, blues, and purples.
I still need to do that. I need to do some commission with emotes soon.
Yeah. Well, she's doing a whole slew of emotes for me. So, and Tia, I believe your commissions are still open as well, right?
We'll get to that.
Because I'm having her slow cook mine because I kind of need to save up.
Same boat. That was actually one of the nice things about not going out too much is that I found like, oh wow, I'm actually saving a lot of money now.
Yeah, it helps. Hey, Medic, if you're there, do me a favor. Shout out Tia. Shout out Tia. Shout out Marlow. Shout out. Who else have we had in here? Shout out everybody. Why not? What the hey? What the hey? Let's see. So tell me about what's your favorite thing about streaming?
Talking to people, like definitely communicating, being able to be goofy. I mean, also it's like it's kind of been helping get to like a backlog list of games I've been pushing off that I really want to play. So like anytime like I see like what was it recently? I mean, like playing Lake. Like Lake's a game that I don't think I would actually play if I wasn't streaming it, but it's a game that I do want to play. So it was a good. So streaming has given me a good excuse to do that. Also, I just like messing around with stuff too. Just playing with the video stuff, which I'm not good at yet. But I mean, basically just kind of learning on how to be a better streamer. Also,
Yeah. Okay. So what's your least favorite thing about streaming?
technical stuff that I don't know yet, like everything that keeps breaking.
And there's a
right now,
lot.
like, well, like right now, my eyes, like I don't know why, but I noticed that my eyes will like be closed every now and then when they're not. Though I think that is my fault because I set the blinking so high. I need to lower that. That's why if you're noticing, I'm always blinking my eyes like this for a while. That's why. If I look too far, if I look away from a certain screen or look this way, my mom will be like, "Oh, your eyes are closed." Like, no, they're not.
Yeah,
So,
mine does the same thing. I'm still playing around with lighting. Messed with the lighting a little bit today, and I've actually got a couple more ring lights on order. See if I can get a little more light. And what I've done has helped. Obviously, my mouth movement is getting tracked a little bit better, but I am still severely lacking in some lighting areas. So I've still got some work to do. And yeah, you mess with one thing and 5 other things break. That's like the story of our lives. When you stream, how many screens do you normally have up?
So I typically have like one, two. So the game screen, the OBS, of course Twitch, and then VTube. So like around like four or five. Basically, I have up constantly, and I'm like jump, and I will occasionally jump back and forth. Which why certain games are better than others. Where it's like certain games, if you minimize or you leave that game screen, the game just shuts down for some reason. Like
Yeah,
you have to go back. The sound's broken, and like especially because my main issue is sound a lot. So when I'm like trying to adjust the sounds and everything like that, it doesn't help when the game decides, oh, you're not clicking on me right now. So let me just turn myself the sound off for a while. I was like, that's the one thing I need to test. Stop
yeah.
turning off the
Stop
sound.
turning off the sound, please. No, I dig that. I dig that. Like right now, I'm looking. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8 programs open, and one of the programs has 5 additional windows. And I'm not even talking about my web browser, which I think I'm off lucky right now. I think I've only got two pages open. Yeah, I've only got 2 tabs open right now on my web browser. But when I did Lizzie's interview a couple of weeks ago, I had, and I kid you not, I had 45 web browser tabs open.
Dang, it's a lot.
It was absolute insanity because there was so much stuff I wanted to go over with in my debut and everything, and I was able to. Luckily, as I was going through my debut, I was able to. Okay, I can close this out. I can close this out. All right, I can close out PowerPoint. I'm done with this. I'm done with this, and I can close down one of the 7 Word documents I have open, and now I can close out these 7 tabs in Google Chrome, and it was insane. It was absolutely insane. Let's see. So we covered those. Okay. Have you had any setbacks? And if so, what were some of them?
So I think setbacks were before I even like debuted or even streamed at all. There was a lot of technical issues, of course, but there was also like I was always wondering when I was ready. Like there was a lot of like psyching myself out before going live. Um, that was a major setback. Just because it was basically my mods. I'm like, you just gotta like just jump in and do it. Just hurry up and do it. But yeah, that it was just a lot of nerves. Oh, and then
Thank you for that, Mantis. Thank you for that. And Serena, I was just talking about you. Were your ears burning? You're right. It has been a long time. It has been too long. Have missed you a lot, and we need to chat. But yeah, I was talking you up. I'm gonna send you some more people to make some more banners for and stuff. So I get ready. Your commission window is open, right? Your commission window is open, right? Please tell me it's open, because if it's not, I'm going to be really, really sad faced. anyways. Sorry, Marlow, go ahead. Go ahead.
So also too, so my first debut stream was kind of really broken because my internet wasn't acting right. So that was I don't know if that was a setback, but that was a problem. And then the biggest setback is that so when I started streaming, I was actually in the process of moving, and we were waiting for my current roommate's lease to run out. So we're like, well, it's gonna be you have 2 months left on your lease. What are you gonna do? I ended up staying in his apartment. Like I was basically crashing in his living room with like my like a setup. So I wasn't really in a comfortable and like a good place to stream. Honestly, for like when I started out, it was definitely a lot of struggles trying to like not only get time to stream but to feel comfortable streaming. Because once again, I was in this guy's living room for like ever, with my little setup, and it was just kind of one of those things.
Yeah.
Especially since I didn't have a key to the place. So the apartment was supposed to have like the apartment that he was staying at, that I was staying at as well, was supposed to have like this like lock system where you're not supposed to get in. But they're also doing construction and it wasn't a really well made apartment building. Like the insides were nice, but the actual building itself was definitely falling apart, which is why they're doing a lot of renovations. So there was a lot of like moments where I'm like, am I going to be able to break in today? Like, or am I going to have to wait outside? Like making a schedule would be impossible when I was living there because I never knew when I'm going to be able to get inside the apartment, if I'll be able to get inside the apartment, and if like the door was locked or not. Like it was just a pain. But yeah, those like personal living and tech issues were like the two biggest setbacks, and just me being comfortable streaming. Like I get really shy if more than like 10 people are on, which has happened a few times, and I'm just like immediately just like bashful and clammy and kind of like trying to back out in my own corner.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. So, who was your style inspiration when you? What inspired your model?
Oh, so the inspiration was actually so I wanted a very like scruffy kind of, not like it doesn't really take care of like they're not like they're not a slime ball, but they don't take care of themselves, especially that down and out look. You know what I mean? So I got a lot of inspiration from like the dad from Fui, and then I was actually gonna get his name up. I can't remember his name. Um, and then also stuff like from like Cowboy Bebop, some other old detective dramas, of course, like actual like detective movies.
The gumshoe who doesn't care anymore, right?
Yeah, like it's just about money and cases. But he's not getting many cases, and it's that sense like that the, and especially with like especially design like the character for Marlow is always like that. They care, but they don't look like they care, and then sometimes they just don't care at all. Like there's still emotion and passion in it, but that passion and emotion has kind of been burning out lately, kind of thing.
He's burnt out, and he doesn't care so much because he's down on his luck. That
Yeah, exactly.
That one case that just went wrong. It all went south, and the dame left him at the end.
There was a running joke about so because like what part of my lore is that I do sleep underneath my desk in my office because I can't afford an apartment. But when I first started VTubing and was actually crashing at my friend's apartment living room, I was like, huh, fiction mimics real life. Right now.
Art imitates life, baby.
Yeah, exactly. So I was actually just crashing underneath I was underneath my desk, but I was right by my desk.
All right, Serena, good luck. Thank you for the lurk, my dear. And I still gotta get that set up. I keep thinking about it while we're in the middle of the stream. Let's see. All right. So aside from VTubers, what are other personalities that have really influenced you in the person behind the mask of MarlowRaku that influenced you and bleeds into Marlow?
So definitely Game Grumps, big fan of Game Grumps. I actually met both of them. Man, I was back in Austin, Texas a while ago. Dan and Aaron, that's their names. And then Game Grumps is one of them. A lot of it, especially like the working ethic and stuff like that, I definitely got from probably one of the people I look up most. I looked up to them mostly is Monty, who was an animator and story writer for Rooster Teeth back in the day. Unfortunately, he did pass away 6 years ago now, I think. But those are pretty like two big inspirations for of mine. I can't think of others right now. I know there's a few others, like especially like the old Let's Players from the old days.
Okay. I see that. I can actually see some of that. I see. I've seen how Rooster Teeth does kind of influence you. I can see that influence in the comments you make while playing games. I think it's great. Are there any other game analysts or game spoofers or gamers that are posting on YouTube that you feel may or may not have influenced you?
Oh, I guess even like going back to Rooster Teeth, I think like Jeff definitely was a big inspiration. He was also part of Rooster Teeth. What was it? The Achievement Hunters.
Yes.
Which actually I met him a few times. In fact, I met Jeff quite a few times, and one of my favorite time I ever seen him. It was it's actually it's kind of dark, but it was when he was starting to sober up, like when he decided to quit drinking altogether. And I was there when they did that big announcement at the Rooster convention, and so I would remember running into him, and he would always have a drink in his hand, like he would always be drinking here and there. And I go into this random elevator, and he gets in there too, and he just looks like he just wants to get out of the scene. Like he's just like, because he just quit drinking, and if you know anything about Rich Teeth and like the old days of Jeff, he was known to be like a really heavy drinker, like not in like a bad way, but he did it because of health reasons.
Yeah.
But it was definitely the first week. It was in that first week where he quit drinking, and you just saw a man who was like, I need to get away from
I've got to get away from this, because if not, my 1 day chip is going to turn into a no day chip. Yeah,
because it was a big party scene. Everyone was there for the convention. Everyone was drinking because it was very. I mean, I'm not sure. Because of the pandemic, I haven't been to a Rooster's convention in a while, but I mean, when I go, it was very heavy drinking culture.
Yeah.
So you could tell, like, he was just like, no one talk to me. Let me get to my room as fast as possible. I gotta go.
You gotta go. Yeah. I went to Dragon Con for 22, 23 years straight. And yeah, a lot of alcohol gets consumed over that weekend. A lot.
Oh,
a lot.
What was like conventions? I went to OhioCon a couple months ago, and like that entire thing, I just not sober for a single thing.
Rich,
yeah, like that,
welcome.
But yeah, that thing was just like, hey, what's up, Rich? But yeah, the entire time, just constantly, I had a flask, just like walking around the convention.
Hi, Rich. Marlow says hello. We were talking about you earlier as well, I think. Were your ears burning, my dear? I hope so. Yeah, at Dragon Con, I carried, depending on what costume I was wearing, what cosplay I was doing, I usually had 2 to 3 flasks on me, and many times I had a backpack that had, a handle or 2 of alcohol and a 2-liter of Coke for mixing.
Oh, and it was like, so it was weird because like in conventions, especially if you're like a semi-social person in conventions, it's very easy to find like people with the booze who are just going to keep supplying you, especially if you're wandering the convention floor at like past 2 a.m. or whatever. It's just, you'll see just like,
3 to 5 in the morning is the time to be around on some of these conventions. 3 to 5 in the morning is just
it gets insane. Yeah,
some of the coolest and most interesting people that you don't have to yell around. You just like walk up to and say, hey man, how you doing? How you enjoying it? Is it as awesome as you thought it would be? And they're like, dude, I am so tired and I am so drunk, but I am not stopping. Let's go. All right, let's go. Where do you want to go, man? Let's go to this rave over here.
But like, you be playing like random games with them, like consoles or not, while you're drinking. The last one I went to, the OhioCon, I don't know who brought them, but someone brought kendo swords to the convention.
Yes.
And so we were just like drunk, just purely wasted, fighting kendo swords, like a bunch of us just in the middle of the convention line, which connected to the hotel. So we were fighting like up and down these stairs and all that. And then
or getting into one of the ultimate one game, a game or 5 of Ultimate Werewolf.
Oh yeah. Oh, that good. Convention's a great place to play a werewolf and a mafia. But the thing is, I make it back to my hotel and I crash, and everyone else has passed out before me because that's just how it is all the time when I go out. And then I wake up the next morning going like, why are there bruises? Like, why am I hurting right now? And my friend's just like,
You don't
You were
remember the
kendo.
kendo fights?
I was like, oh yeah, there was a kendo fight last night because we were actually hitting each other.
Yeah.
There was contact quite a lot.
Full contact kendo fights, and you're like, I'm dead. I'm dragging myself back to my room where I can respawn. I will avenge myself tomorrow. Tomorrow night, 2 a.m. Let's go.
But yeah, that was a good times.
And Wrench, whatever we said, you did do it. You cannot deny it because we said nothing but good things about you.
I'm already writing the Twitter longer right now.
You're writing the Twitter longer? Yeah.
Yeah. Is that how you say it? Twitter longer or Twitter long?
Twitter longer, yeah.
Is that what it said? Okay, I don't know. I never knew how to properly pronounce that.
Yeah. Just write a Twitter longer that says, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Fill it up with that. Okay. Now, you have I send out questionnaires to the folks that are that I'm looking to have come in, and Marlow is happy enough to give me some little basic answers to some stuff, so kind of conversation starters, and I can go through. However, there's this big long thing that he just like NA.
Well, because there's some of us about music stuff, and I'm not a music person.
And you know what? You may not be a music person, but some of these I do feel like. You do have an answer for it. It is applicable. Maybe not necessarily to Marlow and how Marlow streams, but it could be very applicable to Marlow, the man behind Marlow, and how he streams. If you get the differentiation there, it's not, hey, I'm streaming like this, and this is my thing. This is my this is my content. This is but what band or musician influenced you the most? Is there a band or something that kind of is infused into who you are or who Marlow is? Like, when I look at Marlow, I think like really old school slow jazz, going back to that 1940s sax playing in the background, kind of thing.
When I was writing like stuff for Marlow, like thinking about like lore stuff,
Mm-hmm.
I actually have a few jazz clubs in my area. There's this really nice. Okay, I gotta describe this one. So there's this really unique jazz bar we have in my city, and there's no signs for it. Like, you're walking down the street, you're not gonna find it just by walking around. You have to know where you're going. So
those are the best jazz clubs ever. And anybody out there, if you're ever walking down a downtown district and you happen to be walking around and you hear jazz playing and it's live jazz and it kind of hits you in your soul, find that door, get in there.
And the way I found that door was weird. So I was looking for a different bar that does like this like kind of gothic kind of goth feel. But I was walking and I was standing above a purple light, not above, of course, underneath a purple light, and it was like right above me. And I'm just standing there looking at my map going, where is this other bar I'm looking for? And this door opens out of nowhere, and this really tall man just looks at me and goes, hey, how many? I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, hey, how many? I'm like, just one. And so he's like, all right, cool, come on. And I just walk into this random building, and it's like, I see in front of me like the stairs below me. And he's like, stairs are elevator. I'm like, I guess I'm gonna take the stairs because these are really nice looking stairs, and there's like a chandelier above me. So I go downstairs, and I'm walking downstairs, and it's underground. So I go in there, and it's like deep underground, and it's like, okay, so I gotta do a little history lesson. So it's pretty much, people pretty much really know what city I live in. I live in Cincinnati, and a historical fact about Cincinnati is that the city was supposed to have a subway system, but halfway during the subway construction, they just stopped making it, and they basically left the remnants of it around. This thing is built in one of those remnants, so it has like that round, like kind of brick opening, to it, and it has like this certain area that's cut. And I know if you go behind the stage, you can get to some of the other areas, like in the back of this abandoned subway area. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just built deep underground, and it just has like that old school jazz feel to it.
I'm
Like
picturing
almost
like
easy.
redstone walls, maybe some paneling here and there with a few mirrors, with a nice long bar in the back.
But yeah, it's a very beautiful place. And it's you have my first time there was a perfect like noir setting because you walk in and there's like this main room with like a bar, like a 360 bar, so you just sit down, or there's like these nice red like red cushion what do you call those not booths or whatever. Very beautiful, very nice. You just sit in, and there was a lot of people dressed up fancy, like really fancy, like people because they were having a show that night, which I had no idea they had a show. I don't know why they let me in. I was not looking like everyone else that night, but they did anyways. And so I'm sitting there, and it's definitely like just like a guy talking to me, like, "So you're here for the show?" I'm like, "There's a show." He's like, "Yeah, it's in the back." I'm like, "Cool." So I paid cash for my drink, went in the back, and saw the tunnel entrance, saw this big tunnel, and sat next to, and I don't know how else to describe these people, but what I can only describe as mafia looking wise guys because they had the outfits and everything. Like they looked like they walked out of The Godfather, and I'm just like hanging out with them,
And
and
you had a PI in your back pocket.
asking them questions. Where were you guys? I know Tony's around here somewhere. But they're and this like really big guy came I'm hanging out with, like I'm gonna get a drink, and I'm not hanging out. I don't know what this big guy is, but he was one of the ones sitting next to me because I just grabbed a random booth next to these guys, and he's like, "Hey, having trouble getting a drink because it's very crowded." I'm like this small guy in there, just trying to like muscle my way to get to the bar because in the we're doing the show, it's a little more crowded. And he's like, "Here, I got you, man. Hey, this guy wants a drink." I'm like, "What is this place?" This feels like something out of this. Really is a noir kind of scenario. So I was able to get a drink and sat next to these people, and I don't know who these people were, but people were like getting pictures with them. So I might have been sitting next to some kind of celebrity or something. I just didn't know it. They were really nice though. But yeah, they were just like they just looked like wise guys, just hanging out and stuff.
All right,
But yeah, though, it was really cool.
Wrench is going nuts over here. She's why is everyone in Ohio? I might come up to Ohio at some point. We'll have to do a meetup. And then she's like, "You must take me after the story." So I'm, you know what, Wrench? I think we should road trip up to Cincy, and we'll all go hang out at the jazz club, and then come on back.
Oh yeah, it's a really nice place. I enjoy it.
Because I don't think we can all fit under Marlow's desk to sleep.
It's very tight. Actually, we did try to fit a bunch of people in my apartment recently, and that was also tight. We only got one bathroom, people. Here's a ticket. This is your bathroom time. But yeah.
Tia, I bet you were an incredible person to drink with, and I would love to fly over the pond and have a drink with you. I would love to. I know a couple of nice bars in London I'd like to go to with you.
Oh, but getting back to like the music question, I would actually, I wouldn't. I mean, I grew up around a lot of '80s rock music.
Okay.
Metallica, AC/DC.
We are on the same page so far.
Yeah, so I grew up around a lot of that, like because my dad was a huge like metal fan. I still even go to metal shows, like little metal shows, in like hole in the wall bars. When I go to every now and then, because they still have. I was talking to someone about this recently. One thing I do like about metal shows, especially if you go to like one that is in literally being held inside a bar, like a small bar, is that a lot of them still have mosh pits.
Yep.
And it's the most. You would think like, okay, this is a tight space, everything get knocked over, or whatever. No, it's like the most like weirdest scenario because it's like, I remember the bartender who, well, actually, she owns the entire bar, but she always told me like, yeah, I love my metal shows because the people leave these bars cleaner than they come in.
Oh yeah, typically, yeah. Yeah, they clean up when there's a mosh pit. They clean up. As a matter of fact, the last two concerts I went to were baby metal concerts, and one was in Maryland and the other one was in South Carolina, and was in both the mosh pits. Had a great time, but yeah, those places were spotless when we left. and it was amazing.
I did see one bit, and you always my favorite thing about mosh pits too is you always have to be careful. If you don't want in a mosh pit, you have to like because there always seems to be that defined line. There's no drawings, there's no markings. It's just everyone knows this is like you don't pass this area. This is the line
Yeah.
of where the mosh pit is. It's always like fan made. But there's a weird, especially when the mosh pit either starts building up or winding down, where that line gets blurry.
Yes.
And I saw one guy try to come out thinking he was safe, not realizing the band was about to go again, and just gets like didn't see it coming. He get knocked out, but he got not like dude's elbow came swinging at him, and his glasses and hat fell right off. He did not see it coming.
Welcome back, Serena and Rich. No, your phone can't die. Plug it up,
CPR.
charge it.
CPR phone.
CPR the phone.
But yeah, like you just saw like his stuff fly because he thought he was safe. He thought he was in the proper area.
And Tia, remind me, if you're going to open bottles with your boots, you're going to kick one open.
Oh,
I got to film that. I got to film that.
So cool.
You can open a bottle with paper. I want to see that too. I know it can be done, but I want to see you do it.
My boss uses chopsticks a lot.
Well, Tia, hurry home so you can, not Tia, I'm sorry, Wrench, hurry home so you can get that thing on a charger. Or get to thine car and plug her in. Something like that. So, we're still tap dancing around the subject of your musical influence.
So, yeah, definitely, like, I wouldn't say, though, I mentioned I like heavy metal. I don't think it was an influence for Marlow as much as, like, I guess like sweet song music. I'm not really good with like naming bands. Like obviously names themselves escape my head like constantly.
Okay, fine. Hum a few bars. Karaoke night. Let's go. Here's the mic.
Oh, I can karaoke.
I can karaoke too. I love karaoke.
Oh, I used to do karaoke quite a lot. Back when I used to go out quite a bit, I would all the time.
I don't care that I'm bad at it, but I do it.
Well, that's why I like going to the karaoke bars because if you're one of the middle people, no one cares. But yeah, like sweet, like kind of vibe music, I guess would be another way to put it. Like that lo-fi, it was also another inspiration for Marlow.
Yeah.
That like somber, like you're not really you're out, but you're not really doing anything. If that makes sense, like you're just kind of chilling yourself. You're just kind of enjoying the atmosphere wherever bar club you're at. You may not be dancing, you may not be like meeting new people. You're just chilling at the bar. Like I did that quite a bit. Some people call it loneliness and sad. I like it.
Dummy, oh.
Yeah, like.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I once texted a friend of my friends like, "What are you doing?" Oh, I'm just sitting here at a bar. Like, who are you with? By myself, just sitting here at a bar.
Yeah.
Are you okay? Like, yeah, I just do this. like what's wrong? Like, why can't people just like go out?
Yeah.
Like, what else? Sitting at a bar, just chilling.
Yeah, many years ago, we had a friend who was leaving the job after several years, and my whole team wanted to get together and go out to a bar that had karaoke, and so we go out there, we order all these wings and stuff, and they start setting up karaoke, and they're like, all right, so who's going to be first? And everybody was like sitting down. I was like, I went, okay, fine. I went up, they went, Dave's going to do karaoke? The boss is going to do karaoke? Went up there, and I gave him four songs. I said, start with this one. Later in the rotation, just move down the list, okay? And the guy was like, he looked at the list, and he went, that's a really diverse list. Okay, whatever you want, let's go. So he calls me up first, and my first song is One More Minute by Weird Al. So it's a love song, not really, but we had fun, and everybody was like, they were like, what the hell was that?
Also, like another thing too, like about karaoke, a thing I kind of realized, and it's something that you don't really have to look.
All right, Serena, got to hydrate. Marlow, you need to hydrate. We've been talking a lot.
No, second.
Hydrate complete.
So, like with especially with where was I? Oh yeah, especially with karaoke. So sometimes you gotta read the room quite a bit for karaoke. Sometimes, like. If there's like a certain kind of theme going on or like a vibe or especially like I guess you say the energy's high, I don't know if you want to be the person to bring it down. There was a night where all like it was a lot of like lovely, like happy kind of music, kind of upbeat.
And then you get in there and sing the darkest shit that you can imagine.
I walked away for the fire, like because the bar Carapace has a bonfire in the backyard, in the back of it. I say backyard, in the back of the bar, and a lot of us hang out there. Some people smoke, and you just hang out by the fire and just talk to people.
Yeah,
and they have this cool speaker system, so you can hear the karaoke from outside. And we're just like hanging out, and all of a sudden we're like, I need to go tell Stacy I'm sorry. Like just that kind of music where you're just like,
oh yeah,
someone just brought the mood down bad.
Yeah, I usually do the sappy love songs or something like that. I'll do some of those at the beginning, but then when I hit Centerfold by Jay Giles, then okay, I'm ready. It's nothing but rock and roll till the end, unless I was a regular at this karaoke club, and there was three of us, and it would come down. It was the three of us, and it was like always our rotation, and then every now and then one person would jump in, so it was us three were basically the entertainment for the evening unless the bug bit somebody, and they would just jump into the rotation. And next time around, no, I'm good. We're like, so we decided between the three of us, we're like, okay, we got to get out of, we're tired of hearing the same 20, 30 songs every night, every week. So here's a challenge. Pick a decade, and all the songs we sing have to be within that decade. All right. So we started doing a decade night. And then I made a challenge to everybody. I said, hey, this challenge is just for me, guys. You guys pick a decade anywhere from 1920 to present, and I will pick a song for that. And they were like, oh, really? Bet. Somebody made the mistake of picking 1920. And I got up there and I sang a song from 1920s. This came out the original came out in 1920, guys. Yes. Holy shit. And I went 1920, 1930s, 40s, 50s, and I went up. Every rotation, I went up one decade. And they were like, holy shit, you covered every decade. How could you do that? And there were guys in this bar, and it was a Vietnam veterans group, and some of them were like, I remember that song from when I was a kid. How do you know it? Because you are the son of a Vietnam veteran. You sang a song that I haven't heard since 1930. I was like, I don't know. It's just, it's who I am. And I got them to try to stump me quite often, and nobody ever was able to. I said, pick a genre, pick a decade, and I can probably find something that I can do from that. It may not be great, but I can do it. And they were like, God, you're good. I'm like, I enjoy now. When I said pick any song and I'll attempt it, they were like, they threw some out there, and I was like, there's no way. That is nowhere near my vocal range. I'm sorry, I cannot do the Bee Gees. No matter how much I try, my falsetto sucks. And then I would also, somebody gave me Let's Go Crazy by Prince. And I just kind of beamed, and I said, you hit me in a song that I've just never had the balls to try. I love this song. And I got up there and I did it. The whole intro, dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. And I went through the whole thing, and everybody was like, holy shit, that was awesome. I had a great one, man. When you feel the music, you just can't be bad at it, even if you're bad at it. You know what I mean?
Oh no, definitely. I always like the ones like, and this happened to a friend of mine where like, they didn't choose wrong song, but they chose wrong it's that Face of Regret. So a friend of mine actually went in to sing the song. It's the opening song. Well, it's the song from Evangelion. Yeah, it's doing, and like that's a long song.
Yes, it is.
You could tell halfway it was him and another friend of mine. They both were gonna duet it, and as they were singing, you could tell like they like by like the fourth bit, like we made a horrible mistake. It's like if you go to a bar and try to sing Jesus Suburbia, like you're not gonna make it. And they're like, screw it, we're going to go through this entire song. Fuck it, let's just see what happens.
Oh, we've rented some private karaoke rooms at a karaoke lounge near us that is set up like a true Japanese lounge where it's sub done into private rooms. So you go in there with a party, you get some drinks or whatever. And we did this for one of my kids' birthdays, I believe it was. Or it was one night we just went out for Korean barbecue and said, hey, let's go up to Echo. And we went in and did karaoke for about an hour. And me and one of my daughters did I Want You by or Heavy Rotation by AKB48. And then I found Yakusaku, which was done by Yui Horii, and it's from it's off of one of her albums, but it was showcased as the love theme in Love Hina.
Oh, I love Love Hina.
Yeah, and it was done by the actress who plays Naru Narasawa, whose name I can no longer pronounce apparently. Naru Nagasawa, whatever. I tried to trick myself, but it was
actually a little embarrassing, but Love Hina was actually one of the animes I tried to write fan fiction for, like when I was first getting into writing.
Oh, I want to read that. I never
got finished with it, but it takes place like, so the idea is, so if I have the full manga collection of Love Hina, but
same.
There's a period in the story in the I don't think it's in the anime, but manga where the main guy leaves for like about 8 months and goes to archaeology. So my idea is that it takes place in that time period, and there's someone who's basically studying abroad who gets sent there. It was this guy and his sister, and it was basically just following that story of like that 8 months of where he was gone and what was happening at the end.
Yes.
Which was more of a dorm now that I think about it.
Yeah. Let's see. Tia, you were saying that you would be drunk doing screamo and metal music. I got no problem with that, girl. As a matter of fact, my friends loved it when I used to have Karaoke Revolution for the original Xbox, and we would get together here at the house and sing it. And me being completely sober, I would do a version of Sweet Caroline, where when we got to the chorus, I would start it off as normal, and it would sound great. We get to the chorus, and I turned it into screamo. Sweet Caroline! Ah! And it just tore my throat up so much, but it was so much fun to do, and it would crack everybody up because everybody who had partied with me previously and may have seen that performance knew what was going to happen. The people that they invited did not. And they would just be sitting there, oh, it's Sweet Caroline time? All right, let's go. You're going to love this. This is amazing. Nothing will ever top this. And they would hype it up to their friends that they invited to my party. And I'm like, I guess I got to go there. So I'd go there. And everybody would die laughing, but I would stay on it to the end. And they were like, how the hell can you do that? And I'm like, I don't know, but I'm done. Here, whoever wants the mic, you guys got it the rest of the night. Have fun. But they knew that was going to be the last song for me whenever I hit Sweet Caroline. It was great. But yeah, I miss playing some Karaoke Revolution. I miss doing some karaoke. I haven't done karaoke in probably a year or two now. Yeah, need to get a group together and go out and do some karaoke or something.
I am planning to go to karaoke on the 23rd because the place I used to go to, they're moving the location or something. So I was like, all right, I'm going to head down there at that time, make some time, and revisit some old friends and see what's going on.
Okay, hold on. I got to interrupt because Tia just put something in here. This is her statement. My friends love it when I start singing. Tia, I would love to hear your singing on stream because I know you are text to speech. I think
Wait a
that
minute.
would be amazing. Okay, so you do what I do to Sweet Caroline. I am down. I want to hear any version of any song you want to do in text to speech. But I'd also love to have, even if we do it privately in Discord or something, I would love to hear you sing for real, because you're an amazing young person, and I dig your talent. Let's see. What's been your favorite project that you've been doing for working on? What's been your favorite one so far?
I mean, of course, just getting the VTube model and everything working was probably the main thing. But as for a small project, honestly, working, I wish I had more time, but working on just lore stuff, honestly. I've been to a bunch of creative writing classes. I always like writing, despite the fact that I have trouble reading because of my dyslexia. But like, I probably like that. That and just learning the new tech stuff. Like I want to start working on posting videos on YouTube, edit videos, like a little more like kind of streamlined ones. So I think that's probably my favorite thing, honestly, is just as far as projects go, just the YouTube project I'm working on right now, and
Okay.
trying to get that my YouTube channel going.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go. Tia said she once did Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley in Screamo. I've got to hear this. If there's a recording,
That'd be
send
really
that
interesting.
to me. Oh my God. That's got to be amazing. I want to hear this. This is a thing that must happen soon. This must happen soon. All right, let's see. Yeah, I've still got more questions. And do you want to talk about your lore some?
Yeah, I'll talk a little bit about it. I haven't really got too much into it lately. But yeah, well, obviously I'm a raccoon detective. But I wasn't like raised by raccoons. It was a human girl that found me, and that kind of raised me. Unfortunately, she was a part of a crime syndicate, and at some point, she basically disappeared on me. So I've been looking for her ever since because I have some questions. But during that search, I kind of like basically discovered. I was like, oh wait, well, I discovered you need money to survive. So I was like, well, how do I continue searching for someone, but then also get paid for it? And then I was like, oh wait, detectiving. So I got into law and became a detective. Unfortunately, you also have to be a good detective to make money. So kind of back to square one.
Mm, yeah, that hurts. That hurts. It always comes back to the money thing.
Oh yeah, all aspects.
All aspects. Oh man.
Also, being a VTube detective is difficult because whenever they ask you, I'm looking for a cat. It's like cat person or cat pet. Wait, hold on. That doesn't narrow down either. All right, it's just a cat that's on four legs or a cat that walks on two. Damn it, that doesn't help either. So getting the proper suspects is hard, especially when you don't know if they're talking about a VTube pet or a actual animal.
I'm looking for a cat. Yeah, this cat stands about 6'2".
Well, actually, yeah. What's the height?
Yeah. If the cat is under 14 inches tall, that's not the cat I'm looking for. There you go. All right. Okay, I've kind of been skipping around this one a little bit because, and we've alluded to it here and there, but let's talk about other hobbies that you have.
Oh, so many. So it comes up a lot during my streams, but I am big into D&D. I'm typically the DM for most of my groups. But yeah, at D&D mostly, probably the big one. Well, not even D&D actually. I'll break that down a little more. Role playing in general, I love role playing. I like when I play D&D. I'm okay. I like combat. I think it's fun, but I'm more of a role player, which is why when I DM, I like doing DM games for Call of Cthulhu because that's more heavy role playing than combat.
Right.
And then there's Fantasy Flight Star Wars because big Star Wars fan. And then that leads to.
Well, hey, hold on. Before we move on, you're talking about
Yeah,
Fantasy Flight Star Wars, which has been a phenomenal system. I've very much
Oh yeah,
like
I
it.
love it so much. Hardly the M4, but I do love it.
All of the other, have you played any of the other Star Wars systems? The Star Wars D20 system back under D&D 3.0 or 3.5, or the original West End game system, which I hate to say it, my personal favorite was the WEG system. I love that system so much for Star Wars. It worked so well for me. But
I played the D20 system, but I played it once, and it was actually a good. I think it was an alright system, but the levelings made no sense, especially when you thought about like canon lore stuff, because it would apply that like I don't know, Emperor Palpatine's level 20, where Mace Windu's 19. It gets really weird with the Jedi stuff.
Yeah. No, absolutely. The D21 was good. However, the way they built the levelings for it made it a little clunky. And it kind of railroaded some areas, and you didn't have the freedom that you needed to truly be able to explore the building of those classes or those archetypes, if you will. And the multi-classing was garbage for it. I hate to say.
Never made it that far. I heard story, but I never made it.
we got another hydrate, guys. Let's go, everybody. Hey, you guys out there in the audience, have a drink.
Let's get it quick. It's getting dark in my room. I guess the sun's going down. Give me 1 second. I need to turn my lights real quick.
Yeah, no worries. While he stepped away, we're gonna take a minute to throw out there. Navy, are you still here? If so, could you shout out Serena and Tia and C-Wrench and oh my god, I think I'm modless right now.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Quite often.
Yeah, no worries. I need to throw out some shout outs. Let's see, we're gonna shout out shout out C-Wrench. I'm sorry. Wrench is out here as well. And another hydrate. What did I tell you, kids? When Serena shows up, you better have a full glass and another full glass.
So I got my mug. Let's always have the mug with me next to me when I stream. The big mug of water.
Oh, I'm another one in. Yeah, I'm gonna be paying attention to the keyboard here for a second. Let's see. So we need to shout out. And boom, shout it out. There we go. See, there we go. We got some C-Wrench. We got some Serena. And I'm sure we've got others. Hydrates is life. Yeah, hydrates is life until you give me kidney cancer. And oh my God, I'm just a giant head.
That's why I was laughing. I was looking at that. I love that.
I have got to figure out why this thing isn't locking into place. All right. And is it just me, or do I just keep getting smaller and smaller? Raise me up here. Here we go. We're going to come over here. There we go. You have 1 liter of water beside you. Okay, well, that's great. You've got to recall, you came in late, and I've already drank 1.5 liters. So... there we go. All right. I'm normal size now. Oh, my chat, ladies and gentlemen. My chat. Let's see. So, what other games besides Star Wars?
So besides like that, so like, of course, like I mentioned earlier, D&D. Other hobbies outside of like role playing books, like role playing, like tabletop role playing, I guess would be the correct way to say it. I mean, I know we talked about this a few times, but like Warhammer.
Yeah.
Really, it's honestly when it comes to Warhammer, it's miniatures. I am a sucker for miniatures. I love, I love the painting and like I'm not good at painting, but I do love like all the tiny parts and stuff like that. Um, though unfortunately, so I got into Warhammer at a very bad time because I I always wanted to get into it, but I did some research and decided, all right, I think I'm ready to get into it. But I got into Warhammer right before the pandemic hit, so all plans of like playing these tournaments and stuff were canceled. So now I have a 2,000 point army. I'm just like, I need to get ready to play. Like I played a few times with the person who owned the game shop I go to regularly. Um, but yeah, that was a hobby I could have maybe wait another year to get into. But oh well, I have the army now, so that works.
Hey, there you go. And you got to start somewhere, and that gives you some time to get some stuff together.
But then like other miniatures, X Wings, Armada, stuff like that. Like I just board games, of course.
Oh, you play X-Wing?
Oh yeah, no. Actually, I just relearned how to play Armada and X-wing 2 days ago. It's been a while, but
Yeah.
yeah. I typically do a TIE fighter.
I see that hydrate. I got you.
Hydrate. Yep.
And we redeemed a stretch.
Ooh, that was good actually.
Yeah, we need a stretch. Oh, ow.
I'm actually surprised. So that's like the first thing. A different question a while back about streaming, but like sitting down for long periods of time. And I think that's maybe the one thing flesh tubing has. One of the things that flesh tubing has over VTubing is that, like, obviously you saw that little twitching there if my head moved too far out.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're sitting in one spot, like it's not restrictive, but there is like this like cone you can't really leave without everything breaking.
Yeah, but when you come back into the field, you usually fixes.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least it's not push-ups. Yeah, well, I wouldn't even be able to do any right now because of this shoulder injury. So, somebody put workout points as their redeem. Yeah.
I've seen a few.
Not this guy. Sorry, that's too much like exercise. I worked long and hard on this dad bod, and I'm not going to mess it up. I'm not going to take the opportunity to mess it up. I have nearly the perfect dad bod. So, and I've worked on it for many years of my life.
Have you we were talking about fantasy flight system earlier. Have you ever played so another role playing game I forgot to mention was Loop, Tales from the Loop.
Oh yes.
It's definitely if you like if
I
you
have
really
not
like
played it yet.
like that, it's really amazing. There's two versions of the Loop. They're kind of like back to back. One, how to explain it? So the first book of the Loop is characters between the ages of 10 and 15, I think, and you actually can't die in the Loop. And then the second book is about characters 16 to 19. And that book you can die in. But if you like Stranger Things and you always want to play a game like Stranger Things or whatever, Tales from the Loop is where you go to, because it is very like that. It is kids with clubhouses. It's set like a drama, like a series kind of thing where they teach you how to do scenes and stuff like that.
Okay.
It is a really interesting system, but it's a D6 system, and that system's always a touch and go one for me. But I think the Loop did it right. It's a really fun one. I highly recommend it. And it's like a mix between cyberpunk and like organic punk, I guess, kind of thing. Like the whole premise is that if you want to play the actual like Loop, the Tales from the Loop story, the whole premise is technology went a different route. It takes place in the 80s. So it's a lot of like 80s music. The second book takes place in the 90s. So the first book is like this new great economy, great technology. You have flying ships and all that. And then the 90s, I love this part of the book, but in the 90s, this weird tech virus is spreading. Like it's an organic virus that's affecting technology. So you kind of take some steps back. So you go from like the uplifting, lovely, like promising future of the 90s to this more, oh, the world's falling apart kind of, 80s, then you go to the world's falling apart 90s.
Nice. Yeah, and Tia's lore, Tia saying her lore, she's died about 6 to 10 times and is still alive. But you're an AI. It's part of your design and your programming for sustainability. And Serena, why are you laughing at my dad bod? I take offense at that. Friendship over. We got beef.
starting to twit longer again.
Yep. Yeah, my twit longer is going to have to be blasting into to people laughing about my dad bod. I am proud of my dad bod. I'm damn proud of it. Ow. See, and you see me, kind of rocking my head back and forth. All I'm doing is just cracking my neck. 4%. You can do this. You can get it on a charger in a car with 4% wrench. You really can. If you're eating dinner, go put your phone on the charger in the car. I'm fine with that. Go eat.
Plug it into,
and when you get back, you'll have 48%. You're in a restaurant. Look behind you. Is there a power cord? An outlet? Plug it in. Let's go. Come on. Oh my God, no. I mean, why do you want to be there with family and everything? No, I'm kidding.
Throw the phone at family.
Go to the car, excuse yourself, go to the car, plug it in, and then go back and relax.
Another thing I want to talk about the fantasy, because I keep drifting off. I go on different subjects here, but
it's all good.
I'm assuming, do you play the fantasy flight system?
I have. I have played it. I enjoy it. It's not a perfect system, but it is very solid. There are little hitches here and there where you kind of have to house rule your way around it.
Yeah. Initiative is one of the big ones for me.
No, I think initiative it's not that difficult in there. It's
I like how it's the initiative depends on the scenario, but I do have combining them all up. There's a lot of ties maybe it's my group, but there's a lot of ties that happen.
Yeah, and that is or can be a problem. However, if you do put have the effects of, okay, so we've got a tie, so we default to matching this. Who gets the next move, or gentleman's agreement? You guys choose who gets the first, who goes second, and as long as you don't have that problem, I mean, it depends on the group, really, but. Yeah. But I think initiative was a pretty solid system. Not the best, but by far not the worst.
I do like how it the turn orders are not set in stone, so the players are allowed to switch their turn orders with other players. So that comes up with some unique strategies for the Star Wars one. But the thing that I think it's interesting, and this is coming from the DMing that side, is that so in D&D, if you pass, it's a pass or fail system in D&D. You roll under the number, you don't open the chest or whatever. But in Fantasy Flight, it's not that simple, and this is the problem. It's not a problem. It's actually something I enjoy.
That is one of the problems that I do have. Yeah.
Yeah, it's what is the consequences to a positive? Okay, I always use the example whenever I'm explaining it. Someone always use the example of, okay, so a bunch of stormtroopers are chasing you over a bridge. So you want to destroy the bridge. Okay, cool. You roll to destroy the bridge and you succeed, but you got a negative consequence. Maybe your explosions is a little bigger than you planned it, and now your side of the bridge is collapsing. That's the best way I can explain it, and it's a thing that's hard to plan for as a TM, because big things, it's fun. Small little things, you're like, man, what's the negative consequence of you opening a chest? I don't know. It smells funny, I guess. Okay.
Well, you just gotta, as a GM, you gotta look for the flavor. That fits in the moment, and a lot of that just comes with experience and knowing your group and tagging to something that they're going to like. So if it's a positive consequence, you spin something that they will find very interesting or that they can use to a further advantage. If it's a negative one, then you find something that is going to hamstring them some.
Oh, yeah.
And if it's an inconsequential one where it doesn't matter either way, you go for the funny. And if you can fit the funny in somewhere else to help break the tension of the situation a little bit, if you want that tension broken, do it. If you need to go the other way and find something that's going to increase that tension or add some pressure to them, then you go that direction, I feel. And Serena, in Lurk again, absolutely. We'll talk to you again soon, my dear. So let's see. Some of the games and systems that I play, tabletop-wise, RPG, of course, D&D, and we've talked about this, D&D, Shadowrun, Vampire the Masquerade, have all been very large influences in my life. We like playing a lot of different hero games, Big Eye, Small Mouth.
I just discovered that recently.
Oh, it's a great game.
It's so interesting.
It is broken. It is broken as hell. Well, the second edition rules were broken. I haven't read any recent editions, honestly.
I found it at a flea market. It was one day I really wanted to go look for old games and stuff, so I went to the flea market and I was like, "What is this? I can't believe this exists." Bought it immediately.
And I've got a lot of the supplements for them. I have the first edition of BESM and the second edition, and with the first edition, I also have all of the Sailor Moon source books.
There's Sailor Moon source books.
Oh yeah, the Sailor Moon source books are gold, dude. They are gold. I want you. Do I want yours? What? Yeah, your what? Sea Wrench. You don't play Big Eye Small Mouth, Wrench?
I have not. So I have not got a chance to play a game yet. I've actually still reading books. Right now, me and my friends are playing a board game called oh wow, my god, I cannot think of it right now. Wait, what's it called again? I cannot remember. Shoot. Okay, Small Mouth.
Wrench, if you would like to learn how to play Big Eye Small Mouth, you, me, Jules, we can all get together. I will dig out the rule books. I've got them packed away somewhere. I know I do. I will dig them out, and we can get together and we can play a game. You pick what universe you want to play in. I can adapt about anything.
But yeah, we're playing Gloomhaven right now, so let's roll on that. We might move on to
Gloomhaven. That's fun.
Yeah, we've been in a very long campaign playing that game.
Yeah, Gloomhaven's fun. Gloomhaven's fun. Let's see what another one had popped into my head there when we started talking BSM. Marvel superheroes, DC heroes, the originals. Marvel when it was when it was under TSR and using the phase rip system, and then the Mayfair Games version of DC Heroes was great, and they both had their good, they both had their bad. One game that I played and I've never picked up since that one time I played it, and it's an amazing game. It really is Champions.
I heard of it, never played it though.
I spent hours working on a character for this damn game, and within the first, it wasn't 5 minutes, my character was killed hanging on a meat hook because the guy who was running it just absolutely said, "Oh well, Dave, you're an experienced gamer, so you should be able to handle all of this." And I'm like, "Dude, I am a level 1 character, and you're hitting me with 4 opponents that are souped out no end." And if we put it in perspective, he put me in in an encounter level ranking of encounter level 10 or 15, where I should have been in a group of 3 people, all 10 or level 10 or 15. against these guys. However, it was me, level 1, versus these 3 guys. I was like, dude, I didn't stand a chance. And he was like, yeah, well, sorry, that's how it goes. And I'm like, really? You don't want to rethink this whole thing and let's start over? Let's try this again? No, rip up the character sheet. Well, let's make another one. And I was like, no, I'm done. I will never touch this game again. Sorry, bro. You destroyed it for me.
a game that I really want to try, and I keep getting scared off of it. Well, I don't really want to try it. Let me rephrase that. A game I appreciate, but it's a game I don't think I'll ever be able to, as far as tabletop go, Eric, be able to get into it. It's it's not, shoot. Man, I don't know why it just came my mind. It's a very heavy D6 game. Okay, if I describe it, I'm pretty sure someone will realize it. It's basically a contemporary one with like orcs and stuff like that. It's hold on, I have it right here. Wait, give me 1 sec. I have it right here actually. I played the game of it from Shadowrun. There it is, Shadowrun. There is so. Have you ever looked at Shadowrun?
Dude, I've been playing Shadowrun since it released in 1990.
There is so many systems in this one game. Isn't there like
it's not as bad as you think. And you know what? I will run something for you. I will do just like I did with my folks. Here, let me tell you my story real quick. Yeah. This was a couple months before I went in the Army, several months before I went in the Army, and went over to visit a buddy of mine, and he said, dude, I just discovered this game. It looks really cool. I would love to play it, but I don't understand part of it. And I'm like, all right, let's talk. Show it to me. So he pulls it out. Gorgeous book, gorgeous cover. And I'm just kind of flipping through it. And he goes, this is what I don't understand, is the magic. And I went, and I flipped to magic, and or not magic. He says, I understand magic. I don't understand the Matrix. Now, this is 1990. This is before the internet existed, folks. All right. And I look at this, and I'm like, I just said, okay, let me just go through this. And I go through it, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, all right, I think I get it. I think I'm starting to understand this. All right. Tell you what, let me borrow this book tonight, and when I get off work tomorrow, I'll come over, we'll discuss it some more. So I went home, read through it, then I went back and I started reading it from the beginning, and I started with the fluff. I mean, I started with the forward, and then I was reading the fluff, and in the fluff, there was a line that absolutely hooked me on this game. And it was on such and such a date at exactly X time, Mount Hood, Mount Rainier, and Mount St. Helens all erupted in a cataclysmic event that rivaled any volcanic eruptions ever seen by humanity, or something like that. This line made me just go, holy shit. And I was like right there in my mind. I was like watching all 3 of these volcanoes go up from somewhere just south of Seattle. You know, I'm standing out in the woods as a camper, and I see them all just, I'm like, oh my God. And to me, it just captured me. I keep reading. Fast forward, next day I get off work. Instead of going right over to my boy's house, I go the opposite direction, head over to our friendly local game shop, pick up a copy of Shadowrun, pick up a couple of other supplemental books, end up spending about $150 because I just got paid. Why not spend half my paycheck on this new game that I know very little about? Go over to his place. Yeah, well, I got my own copy, so here's your copy. I also picked up some supplements. I'm going to read those later. Let's go. Let's sit down here. Made a photocopy while I was at the store. Here's the Decker character. Instead of explaining it to you, I'm going to run you a scenario. He's like, great, I can learn it this way. So I take him through on this little thing that I just was putting together almost on the fly. Some of it I kind of put together the night before while reading, but put together a lot of this on the fly. And then when we were done, he was like, and this was about an hour and a half later, he was like, dude, I get it. Oh my God, I can run this game now. And I was like, there we go. Glad I could help. I'll talk to you later. I'm going to go home, get some sleep. I get home, And two of my other friends are kind of hanging around my house, kind of waiting for me to get home. What took you so long? Stopped at Gabe's, talking. Hey guys, I got this new game. And I start showing it to them. And they're like, okay, cool. And I said, here, you want to try it out? Gave them, because I had made photocopies of each one of the archetypes while I was at the store. I said, here, try this guy and you try this guy. And so they're starting to look it over and they're getting into it. All right, let's run this little bitty thing. So I run this thing and it gives me my chance at some combat and some magic with them. And they're like, dude, that was awesome. So I called Gabriel the next day and I was like, hey, Gabe, I got Chuck and John in. Do you want to play? Play some Shadowrun? You want to come over and I'll get your character in with theirs and we'll just continue on? They were all like, hell yeah, we're in, let's go. And that started a campaign that we played every day until I left to join the army several months later. And at one time I had 17 people around my dining room table, each with characters involved that were friends of friends who were like, I got to get in on this. I want to play this. And it was the most amazing time. And all these years later, we all still talk about this campaign. And it was like, dude, that was lightning in a bottle. Tia, thanks for the lurk. We will see you in a little bit.
That sounds really good, actually. Really cool.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. So I would be more than happy to, you tell me what edition you've got. I will grab a book.
Oh, I don't have any yet. As of right, as I have so many roleplay books. My main one, probably my favorite one. I think I didn't say this earlier, but is Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
That is still my favorite role playing system. The system's okay. I think the system's a good system, but it's just the style and it is heavy role playing. The
style and the feel is great. Have you ever played or looked at Delta Green, which is kind of a subsystem of the COC?
No, I know of it, but I don't.
It's more military. It's more military side, dealing like it's special forces against the against the elders and everything. It's pretty cool.
The Pope system where it gets like more of like your popey science fiction style.
Yeah, Mantis, you bring up another good one. Rifts. Yeah, Rifts and GURPS. Oh my God, they're two really amazing systems. Actually, most of the Steve Jackson games are really, really, really good. Very scattered, quite broken in a lot of ways, but very adaptable to systems that can be utilized in so many different ways. Another one that I really loved for a long time when I discovered it was it's a group called Eden Studios, and honestly I don't even know if they're still around, but they did a roleplay game for Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I think you told me about this before and I remember laughing. There is a Buffy vampire inspired one.
Oh my God, but it is so good, and the way their thing is called the cinematic storytelling universe or something like that. And it is very cinematic driven. You play it like it's a movie or a TV show.
I feel like that was always a plan for Buffy, because I think
it's
Buffy was
really
supposed to be a cinematic universe style,
right?
When they were writing it,
but it's very cinema driven, and but they have a couple of other systems, and one of the systems is called All Flesh Must Be Eaten. It's a zombie survival horror game, and oh my God, these guys at Eden Studios had some really, really good stuff. But the Buffy system was amazing. The All Flesh was amazing. Pretty much all of their systems were really, really good. And I had a lot of fun. I ran about a 2.5 year long Buffy campaign. And we had our own Slayer. I told my own story, which kind of paralleled the events of Buffy the Vampire Slayer in many ways, but it was my own group. However, it turns out, because we were doing this around, I want to say season 4, maybe season 3 or 4 is when it came out, and we were playing it around that time. But their campaign, the TV series, ended similar to my campaign in that there were multiple slayers that converged together on this Hellmouth. And in my campaign, I think Buffy showed up, and in the way I see it in my head, in the Buffy series, some of the slayers that ended up at Sunnydale, in Sunnydale, were 3 of the players from my campaign.
Wait, hold on, wait. Does Buffy and Sunnyvale? Oh, wait, what was that show? Sunnyvale? I think it's something else right now. But did your campaign also have a musical part? That's the one thing I remember about Buffy.
The Buffy episode. Musical was
yeah.
Chef's Kiss. I loved it.
It was actually pretty good.
It was great. Hell, I still sing some of those songs today. Not often, but I do. They still pop into my head from time to time. Some of them were just great.
There was a weird period in I want to say like mid 2000s, because it was Buffy and I think Buffy ended before 2000, but there was Buffy and there was another show that had like a weird musical episode out of nowhere.
Oh, there were a bunch of them that did. A lot of them, a lot of series had musical episodes.
Stargate. It was a sci-fi one. I don't know why it's not coming ahead, but it wasn't as good as Buffy, because I just remember it it wasn't received well. I'm trying to remember what it was. It wasn't Stargate. It was it's the one with Scions.
Battlestar Galactica?
I think it was Battle Galactica.
Was it? I don't know. Chad, anybody there can help me out? I don't know.
I remember, because I remember it was like they found out music helped found these certain aliens. It was really out of nowhere. It just became a musical episode, and it was just like really out of place for a show. And it might be Battlestar Galactica.
I don't remember. I really don't remember.
I wish I remember what it was.
But yeah, musical episodes have been around for a hot minute now. I remember The Flash did one. Welcome back, Blaze. Glad to have you, brother. Glad to have you. I don't remember. Some of the tabletop games I play, one that I have a lot of now that I really love is Zombicide. It's a miniature tabletop game, and it's got a multiple boards that you kind of piece together to make your playing field. So it's not like Rifts or anything, or not Rifts, but Warhammer or something like that, where you just have this big space and you put terrain down on it. No, there are boards, and you make the board out of these segments of boards. But it's a lot of fun. Lucifer had a karaoke. Karaoke. Really? Yeah, Lucifer had a karaoke episode. I vaguely recall that. I vaguely recall that one. Yeah, that was a good one. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of the board games I have are miniature board games, but I have quite a few that are not as well. Like I have. Trying to look behind me here. Many of them are packed away at the moment. Got some card games. Got.
I was into Magic for a very long time.
Oh no, I've got like different variations and iterations of Munchkin.
I love Munchkin. I haven't heard it does, but I love Munchkin.
Munchkin is great, and I also by Steve Jackson Games. I've got Shay Goth.
I haven't played that one.
Oh, yes, it's fun. But yeah, I've got right in front of me. I've got Super Munchkin and Munchkin Pathfinder.
Pathfinder's actually one of the big role playing games I did not play at all. I don't know how Pathfinder missed me. I have a lot of friends who are into Pathfinder. I don't know.
Pathfinder was.
I'm not getting into it.
Pathfinder was what D&D 4.0 should have been.
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. I remember the only thing I liked about 4th edition from D&D was the way the monsters were kind of set up and how it described like how they kind of should be used in a weird way. Other than that, I don't know what I was doing around that time that kept me from Pathfinder.
It,
That was sort of like what late 2000, like 2009, I think, around that area. No, that'd be
no, that sounds about right. 2007, 2008, 2009, somewhere in there.
yeah. I was around that time. I don't know. Maybe I guess maybe I wasn't as into it as I was now, but it was definitely something that missed me somehow. And I remember coming into like D&D and like fifth edition and all that, and my friends talked about Pathfinder and how we and like how I should play that, but I don't know. Never touched Pathfinder yet.
If you can get your hands, borrow it from a friend or something. Get your hands on the core rule book. It's definitely worth a read. Definitely worth a look-see. You might not be able to find a group that'll play it. If you can, great. You should play it and experience it because it is very, it is very solid system. Very solid. As a matter of fact, I had a friend of mine who did layout work for a group that did Pathfinder and a version of original AD&D.
Oh shoot!
You know, the
I've
really
always
crunchy version.
I always wanted to get a group together, and me and my friends have been talking about doing this. It's getting a group together and like playing old school because the game shop I go to, they have old copies of original D&D. Back when from what the bits and parts I read where money is also XP or something, and been thinking about making that journey to see how long anyone lasts.
You should do it. It would be a lot of fun, even as a one-shot campaign. You know, somebody who's going to DM it, run it for. Hey, I'm going to do a one-off campaign. We're just gonna play a session and have fun with it and enjoy it and make it as deadly as you want, and just have fun with that. Start the characters off at 10th level or 15th level.
Well, because I think the original D&D here was like really difficult, and like it was like, in fact, I think even magic was connected to like certain races couldn't learn magic or anything.
Blaze is saying we should put together a virtual D&D campaign. I would have no problem with that.
There is something I did like about fourth edition, and it's actually fifth edition. And it's actually something I forgot about for a while until someone brought it to my attention recently. But the magic in I like how the magic in fifth edition is not connected to alignment. That kind of always bothered me because if you like switch your alignment or for story reasons kind of change from a good guy, bad guy, vice versa, you cut yourself off from so many spells that you may have picked up.
Yeah. If your god turns away from you because the god is lawful good and you go neutral evil, I think the god would go, okay, you're too far off my path, bro, and I'm taking all this back. Then you go, and I think in the Critical Role campaign, I think they handled, Matt Mercer handled that masterfully with Pike. At one point, because she kind of strayed from the path, even though he doesn't really play alignments, they're just kind of there as a guideline for him, which I'm fine with. You know, it should be a guideline, but when your deities have an alignment and their followers need to be at least alignment adjacent, and you fall away from that agenticity, I guess you would say, then your god would go, sorry, dude, you're not one of us anymore.
That part I do like. I like that is actually kind of interesting.
Marlow, I'm going to ask a quick favor because I am almost 70 ounces of Pepsi in, so I need to take a pause. Can you entertain chat for a minute?
Yeah, I can try. What's up, buddy?
I'll be right back.
If you're wondering why I put the sunglasses on, it's because for some reason my eye tracking is being weird. It looks like I'm falling asleep, so I put the sunglasses on. Okay, entertain chat. Wait, I can use. Hold on. How far can I get to his desk? How far? Oh, I'm actually pretty far. Oh, no. I reached my limit. Dang it. I'm so close. Huh. Wait, hold on. I can at least look at his computer. Take a look here. Interesting. Well, just gonna take some pictures of this of what's on his laptop real quick, and I'm gonna use that for later. All right, cool. Anyways, how's everyone doing? Oh, actually, I'm gonna show off my animations. So yeah, I'm putting the glasses on because it looks like my character's eye tracking is like messing up. So because I was looking at myself at the stream like, what? My character looks like he's passing out. That's not a good look. Hold on here. Take that off. This is what I'm afraid, and I'm always afraid. Found the word. This is how I look when I'm crazy. Hold on, let me put that in. And my hat. This is what I'm incognito. You know, I got to do my job. I got to make sure no one recognizes me or remembers my face. Which, you know, now that I look at it, this isn't a really good undercover outfit because this is basically like this stands out too much.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys.
Good.
Woo. Woohoo. All right, let's see. There we go. There we go. All right. And I'm tracking again. Everything's good. Ooh. All right. What was we talking about? What are we doing?
Magic and D&D.
Ah, yeah.
Did you ever use the component system for the Magic? I feel
Yes.
like I never make my party. Really? I never make my party do that. I feel like I'm gonna forget.
Yeah, you do tend to forget a lot, but the thing is usually it's just anytime they go into town and they're doing their shopping, a lot of times I just cover it. Hey, make sure you spend X amount on having make sure you have your available components. And if they go, well, we're really short on cash, then we'll play it out. What components do you get? And we kind of will go down the list and spend a little bit of time on that. And they keep track of it. And, a lot of times I do put it on the honor system, but every now and then I'll be like, all right, let's look it over. Where are you on components? Okay, you're not going to be able to cast that spell. You don't have all the components, kind of thing. And it does make for some interesting role play. But yeah, it's a lot to keep up with. And, you a lot of times you just got to hope and pray that you've got good enough people that are in it for the role play aspect of being able to enjoy that and enjoy the fact that, hey, I screwed up. And I've had guys that have even said, yeah, I kind of role-played that, and I had enough components, but I role-played it like I didn't. And it's great when you get a group that will do that. And, hey, I failed this. And the guy behind him's like, looking at him like, what? And then I'll hit him afterwards. Dude, he rolled a nat 19. He didn't fail that. There's no way he could have failed it. You had the target number set at 21 or at 20 or it was 15. He passed it on the roll without adding stats. What the hell? And he's saying he failed it. But I do, you also do seem to be always are disproportional with nat 20s over any other roll. Every now and then you got to go, don't touch that die. I gotta look at that. That's your 8th nat 20 in a row. not buying it, bro. Not buying it. So yeah, I usually have pretty good groups of friends, and and we all read the room. Hey, are we playing this to role play, or are we playing this to just like twink out and just be ultimate badasses?
Oh yeah.
But this does remind me of a Shadowrun campaign that we had. Is we spent an inordinate amount of time making a plan because our group was we were called TLS for a reason. We were known as the last straw. People would hire us because it's the last time they wanted to deal with anything, and we would just go in guns blazing usually and just blow everything out of the water, and we were just stupid. and we were all very OP because of the way the house rules were set, and it was a very OP campaign, and we just had fun with it, and it didn't matter. But the DM said one time he said it kind of post session. We were sitting around discussing stuff, and he goes, one time I'd love to see you guys actually make a plan and stick with it, because you guys spend all this time planning stuff and then you never stick with it. And I said, all right. So we made a plan. The next game, we made a plan, and we said, everybody, we've got to stick with this. And everybody was like, yes, we are going to stick with this, come hell or high water. And one of us said, you know what? Whoever breaks the plan, they're out of the game. Okay, bet. That and we were all dead serious on staying on the plan. So we go in, and the whole plan was what we had our plan, but the one stipulation we had through this was we cannot fire the first shot. We have to be shot at first. Usually we go in guns blazing, right? But we put that out there, and we said we're not going to fire a shot until we're shot at. We go through the whole game, and not a single shot was fired. We got into plenty of face-to-face combat situations, but we never fired a shot. We were using our guns like baseball bats. And the DM is fuming. We get through this whole thing, did not fire a shot, took out like 15 or 20 guys just by beating them mercilessly with our guns in our fists. And we get in, we get what we're supposed to get, we get out. End of session. And we all look around. We all stuck with the plan. We made it through. It was great. He goes, you had every opportunity. Why were you using your guns like baseball bats? Why didn't you shoot? Because we said we were not going to fire the first shot. You mean all I had to do was have somebody squeeze a fucking trigger? Yeah, and then we would have opened fired. And he realized the missed opportunity he had. And he was mortified and livid, dude. It was amazing. And it was probably one of the funnest game sessions we ever had, because we tortured our GM so bad and we trolled him so much that game. It was so much fun. So much fun.
We had a guy who his character, so it was a Call of Duty campaign, and we were the last scene, and he's like, he told me in the beginning of the campaign, like, I'm a country guy who is a truck driver. I want to play this character the way he would be played. I'm like, cool, I'm into that. That sounds like a great idea. Let's do this. So when things got a little crazy, he looked at me and says, I get in my truck and drive off. So,
there you go.
So the last climax of the campaign was him, because there was other people who were actually doing the final situation, because it was they were in a small town that made a cult around the undescribable color. It was this weird art cult, and so while they were dealing with that whole organization and all that, we try to bring him back every now and then, because we said the city was surrounded by fog, and we did all these things before he said he was going to drive off, but his rolls were so good that he just got out of the town and just drove off. The town got destroyed, but I was like, you know what? He came in, said he was going to do what he did, and he did. He's like, my guy would get the fuck out of here at this point.
Nice. Good
That's
times.
The funniest thing he did. He did what he did.
All right, let's see. You know what? I've kind of gone through the question list, except I've got one last question that I want to ask, but that I want to save that for the end.
Okay.
Unless you got anything you want to throw out there, or any conversations you want to continue. We've been going for 2.5 hours now.
Actually, there's something. So we're talking about board tabletop games and something like that. So
okay.
There's a tabletop game. I'm like, I have too many hobbies, which is why I kind of been avoiding it. But it's definitely like a World War II miniature game, kind of like a Warhammer, but World War II. So I tell the story quite a few times on my stream, and I think it's a really interesting one, especially when you're talking about tabletop. Is that when I first played Warhammer, I was playing at the game shop with the owner, and we were playing, and next to us these two like old guys come in, like they're probably 80s or something, like they've been around for a while, and they started playing the miniature World War II game, and as they were playing, you can hear them, they're talking about stuff, and I found out this like overhearing them is that these were two World War II vets playing a tabletop World War II game of a battle that they were in.
Yes, you have told that story on stream before, and that is so badass.
That is the weirdest thing. I was like, that is crazy. And they were like having a good time talking about it, so it didn't seem like it was like any like weird like darty, but they were just like, this is my unit. This is what we they killed. Like, I'm gonna try a strategy. We tried that battle, and I'm like, what? I don't know. That was a weird surreal moment. I never thought about that though, like because there is like a surprising like amount of like because people always think about like our generation being like tabletop, like tabletop is like 80s 90s kids, but no, like there's a lot of War II like older people that play it, and it was just interesting listening to them talk about a fight while they're playing the actual fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, tabletop war games are amazing, and some of them are so well done and thought out. One of the tabletop war games that, not a future fantasy but more historical battles, Flames of War.
That, yes,
you can recreate almost any battle, and for the most part, unless the dice really screw you in some way, you can play out battles historically accurately to their conclusion. I've played a game of Flames of War where we set up one very similar to a battle I witnessed in Desert Storm, and it was it played out almost play for play, because the person who was playing the Iraqis were well studied and versed in their tactics and doctrine, and stuck within that. And the people that were playing the American and Brits were equally knowledgeable of the appropriate tactics and doctrine, and it was fun watching it unfold again, as I had seen it unfold live back in the day, and it was a lot of fun. The end did kind of twist up a little bit, but they also didn't have some of the real life things happen that happened on the battlefield. One thing being the desert, the edge of the desert, the edge of one of the tanks were coming, one group was coming around a flank, and they hit an area of desert that was, let's say, much softer sand than they had been traversing before, so they kind of sank.
You ever hear the stories of the first sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I was there. I was there. I witnessed these stories firsthand in cases. It was an interesting time.
I remember reading about World War II when they were fighting. I think it was like the deserts of Africa during the Africa campaign, and both military. I guess both military leaders were kind of thinking, like both the American and German side were like, "Oh, this is perfect." Like they pictured desert combat, like battling within like the sandy dunes, to be the perfect battlefield, because they were like, "Oh, there's no terrain. We can really put real military strategy behind this and see who comes out on top." That's what they thought.
Yeah, and then you learn. Then you learn.
It was a hard lesson for everyone, because like, oh wait, sand doesn't hold so much weight. Also, supplying the soldiers in this desert is becoming a difficult thing. Also, sand dunes are a thing. Like they learn both sides.
Also, sand gets into everything.
Oh yeah, maintenance was I always hear about maintenance. Because I was logistics when I was in the military, so I remember just setting stuff out there and just being in this field and being like, oh wow, why is everything breaking so fast?
Dude, after I got back, I was cleaning out all my TA-50 and everything, and I pulled a good 1.5 pounds of dirt, sand, from the desert over there out. The next time I cleaned out my TA-50, I pulled another 1/4 pound of sand out. I was pulling sand out of my TA-50 for a good 3 months after I got back in country. It was ridiculous. I would not be surprised, because there are a few things that have been packed away for a long time. I would not be surprised if I don't still have some Mideast dirt in my in my stuff that I have socked away up in my attic or something. It would not surprise me if I were to just pound it out enough and go through and look at the origins of these particular grains of sand. Yep, this is from Iraq. This is from Kuwait. This is from Saudi Arabia. Okay.
My favorite debate now, I remember, because it was a constant running joke where Kuwait is not a real deployment. Like, it's a running joke now, I remember, on the military. Because I think back, like, I mean, Desert was in Kuwait, but now since it's more of an established base kind of thing, that is like something they always say now, and it's just such like a weird thing.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Anything else you got? Anything else you want to cover? Hell, anything you want to ask me?
Real questions. Like, I guess I don't really think. I mean, the only thing I gotta say is that, like I said, I am planning to do more. Like, I'm basically just trying to learn how to edit, and that's like, so I'm using Vegas Studios. I'm not sure what kind of system you're using. In Vegas Studios, it's just, I don't know. It's something I feel like I should have learned a long time ago. I'm trying to play catch up on.
I hate to say it, because I'm starting out. I am trying to do this on the cheap right now. I am using a free version of Windows Movie Maker, and I'm learning. But it's been a very, very good learning experience so far. There's things I'm liking about it. There's things I'm not loving about it. So, is this going to be the only platform I try? No, I'll probably try some others. As a matter of fact, I'd like to get more information on the one you're using so I could give it a look-see. But, I'm such the beginner, such the noob at it, that I'm trying to stick with some of the beginnings. I do have access to a copy of the Adobe video editing platform, but I looked at that and I was like, whoa, this is way too advanced for me. Nope, sorry, backing out. Close that.
I wonder if I still have access to that from school, because I know school gave us a bunch of free software, but I don't, probably already expired by now.
Never know unless you look, right?
Yeah, I've been thinking about popping those old emails up and seeing if I can find some, because I do steal. I do take. Okay, I steal.
Borrow.
Borrow. Whenever I have to like update my computer, change Windows or something like that, I still go back and get their version of Office.
Yeah, I can understand that. But
it's like a different platforms. Like, you ever think about, like, because it's something I've been debating about, and doing, like, maybe doing some YouTube streams here and there. You like doing that?
I have thought about it, but I am still trying to learn my way around. I'm going to get a little more comfortable in the video editing. So probably I'm thinking over the next couple of weeks, finish the one with Lizzie, do this one up. Probably going to split this up into a couple of videos, because according to this, I've been live for 2 hours and 46 minutes, and we pretty much went right into the show. So, 2 hours and 40 minutes of it is this. I don't think I can water this down into one 30-minute video. It's probably going to be a 2 or 3 part series, which will be great. But I want to edit those, and I think after I get these 2 episodes done and edited down and posted up on the YouTubes, I might give the streaming on that a little bit of a shot. It could be fun. But that being said, from what I've seen and what I've heard so far, Twitch seems to be a lot more interactive with the viewership.
That's what I know. Yeah.
Where live it's just you and chat, whereas chat you've got the redeems, you've got many other ways to interact, which I have not even begun to explore all of them because we got a way, I got a ways to go. I still got a lot of stuff to learn about what the hell I'm doing. But now that I've found the content I want to create, which I very much enjoyed the sit down one-on-one with Lizzie and the sit down one-on-one with you. I've had a blast today, I've got to say. Just chit-chatting with you, getting to know you a little bit better. I know we've had a lot of chatting back and forth in stream, but it was, one of us speaking to the other person typing. Yeah. We've had a couple of calls, and and it's been great getting to know you, and I feel like we've covered a lot of ground we've covered before, but we've also covered a lot of new ground too, and I look forward to it. And hopefully, maybe one day, if we find a couple of 2-player games or something that we both might be interested, maybe we can do a collab on some games. I just got to see if my system can handle it, because
I gotcha.
The games I've been playing of late have usually been very system intensive, and OBS and whatever game it is, really, they both want 60% of my resource capability.
Also,
at the same time,
itself too, like that's something that was like a big thing for me, was this, because I got a bunch of RAM, like I basically stuffed RAM in my computer basically. But yeah, like using YouTube Studios and all that, like it takes energy. It takes a bit out of your computer.
Yeah. OBS has not been horrible, but when I start adding, having the VTuber model in, it has jumped up a little bit. It's gone from 40% to like 48%. And with the stuff I've got to run in the background to keep the model moving, that accounts for about 60% of my resources right now. And then when I run a game that wants to have, 60 to 80% of my resources as well, that's 120%. My computer says no. I'm not Scotty on the Starship Enterprise. I can't give her any more, Captain. I'm giving her all she's got.
Random story though with the Steve Star Trek. So I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I never got into Star Trek, but my favorite.
Oh, stream over, man. Friendship over. No,
see,
I'm kidding.
That's what I get it. But that's kind of like the reaction I got. Like my ex-girlfriend, like her dad was really cool, like really nice, welcoming. But she even told me later, like he was like, yeah, he likes you, but one thing he doesn't like about me, like, was it drinking and partying? No, he's cool with that. Like, what? It's the fact that you don't know anything about Star Trek and you're a Star Wars fan. There was that moment where I saw like this man's like, oh, my daughter's boyfriend, the cool dude, what's up? You don't like Star Trek? And like you just saw like that face just go, I don't know if I want you around my daughter.
Yeah, right. I indoctrinated my kids right, both sides, just like I was. I was turned on to Star Trek as a young lad. I saw the original Star Wars in the theater back in 1977. And as a 7-year-old, my eyes were, oh my God. So, I've always had the best of both worlds. It was never a debate because the kind of geekery that was around all of that, with me growing up, it was never a problem because the other geeks that I ran into, there was no debate. Star Wars was Star Wars and Star Trek is Star Trek, and they are both awesome and amazing, and it is what we live for, and we enjoyed both. Then somewhere in the mid 80s, around the time that Star Trek The Next Generation came out, all of a sudden there was the questions. Which Star Trek is better? The original or Next Generation? Kirk or Picard? And I'm like, why do we have to have a debate? They both have the things that they bring to the table, but it's the same universe. Which one's better? You've got to commit. And then somehow it became Star Trek over Star Wars, or vice versa. You got to be a fan of one or the other. I'm like, no, I'm a fan of both. You can't be a fan of both. Oh my God. I'm like, no, I'm a well-rounded geek. I like Star Wars. I like Star Trek. I like Battlestar Galactica. I like the original series. I like Next Generation. I like Battlestar Galactica. I like Battlestar Galactica 1980, when they finally made it to Earth. I very much loved it. But I was 10 years old. I was absolutely just amazed at the technology that was being presented to me, and I ate it all up. I didn't realize that this is the kookiest story ever. You know?
You're talking about like the circles of geeks. Like, so when you were like, because that's like the early days. Like, was it like the way it's portrayed, the way old geeks talk to new geeks, like the bullies, and like, was it something you had to hide, like being into that subculture back then? Like, is it like the movies?
Yes and no. Yes, you would. A lot of geeks and nerds would have to hide their fandoms. That being said, we were very bad at it, because for Christmas, what do we get? Oh, Mom and Dad, he loves Star Wars. Here's your Star Wars sheet, and have a Star Wars t-shirt that we got for free with it, you know, kind of thing. And you wouldn't think about it. This is my favorite t-shirt. I wore it all summer, you know. All right, now I'm wearing it to school. Oh, fuck. Now all the jocks are going to know. And you would get teased mercilessly. Oh, you like Star Wars, you big geek. Yeah, well, I happen to know that you do too, motherfucker, because we went and saw it together in elementary school.
Everyone has like the black belt.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, because when I was in high school and middle school, like, anime was the thing to hide. And, like, it was definitely kind of still, like, we didn't want people to know we're in anime. I didn't want people to know I was in D&D for a while. I remember that being a secret.
D&D was one that we also had to hide until we became, till I discovered other people. And it's when I discovered somebody else who liked D&D. All right, fine. But we hid that. It was just two of us. The two of us could not take on anybody. All right, so we would play it completely in secret, in private, but then we found a third person. Once we got a fourth person, we were a gang, motherfucker. We were balling, and we would go in carrying our player's handbook and our DM guide over our history book. We would display that shit proudly. People are looking. Oh, there goes the nerd herd. There we go. We know who we're picking on today, and you know. We would take it as a group. We're like, motherfucker, fireball, and walk away. You know, just a hand up and go, third level fireball going at you, asshole. And we turn and walk away, and they'd just be dumbfounded. What the fuck is this guy doing? Silence, stealth, and we would get very chunibyo, if you know what I mean.
It sounds terrifying, but also sounds nice to find, like, because it seems like it's something that brought like everyone together in a weird way. Because I feel like now, I mean, when I was doing it was definitely like hitting code, like, hey, roll dice later, yeah, because that could have been anything. Like,
right?
As far as other students knew, like, oh, those kids are bad, like kids or whatever. Like, no, we're actually just gonna go fight dragons.
Was it you? I'm calling you out, bro, because I think it was you who told the story of the girl who caught you and your friend watching anime, and you lied about it.
We told her it was porn. No, because we were because that was more acceptable. That was socially more acceptable back then.
Oh my god! Like... Somebody clip that shit for me. Somebody clip that shit for me.
We would so I remember we were just hanging out talking. I think we were talking about, it wasn't just normal anime. We weren't talking about Dragon Ball Z. It was some like it was definitely some like obscure, like something you kind of had to like know. You had to be deep in anime to know that it existed at the time.
Yeah.
And I remember she like came up behind us like, "Hey, what do you guys talk about?" We're like, shit. And it wasn't us that came up with the idea. She came up with it for us. She was like, "Oh, I get it. You guys are looking at and talking about porn, right?" Like, yeah,
Let's go with that.
yeah. Basically, like, yeah, we're actually looking at porn right now, and so that was our getaway. Like that was the thing. And I think back to it, I was like, that's fucking hilarious. There was something a lot more as. It's great that people can have their hobbies in the open, and I think it's an amazing thing. In fact, people even take it to a place where their rooms are all decorated, and you're not worrying about your friends coming in and seeing all it. But there was something nice about the hiding thing. There was something kind of like that brought people together, like that whole like secret group thing that was kind of fun about it back in the day.
Yeah, yeah. But now you got people that are running around and hiding the fact that they like normie shit over certain geekeries.
How many people, like, especially like in the beginning, like 70 days, like they look at like it now where it's being advertised all over. People are having like anime posters. People play D&D. Like we were playing in the coffee shop for a while. Like I don't know why we were. I guess we went at coffee. It was like this. Really
I'm gonna
nice
give you my
place.
I'm gonna give you my hot take. Because here's the thing: growing up in the 70s and 80s, where we had to hide, being in the mid 80s, as technology was coming around, starting to really kind of come up to a consumer level, where you had video arcades became very prevalent. And the number of pinball machines had dwindled to, you might go into an arcade and there might be 3 or 4, maybe a bank of 6 of them, but mostly it was, Super Mario Brothers or Tetris or, Defender or Galaga or something like that, these old 8-bit games. And when you walk into the arcade, yeah, you would see geeks, but you would also see jocks in there having a good time and laughing. But then you get back into school and they're going to bust your balls. Hey, man, I saw you at the mall. You went into the arcade. And you were like, yeah, but you're forgetting to mention that you were in there playing a game when I walked in. You beat me to it. You were doing the same damn thing.
Your initials are the high score. Look at that.
and they would, okay, well, it's cool. Video games are cool. And that was the advent of this cross-pollination between the cliques that had always existed. You had your jocks, you had your geeks, you had your nerds, you had your, you had your theater kids and your chorus kids and your drama students and your band kids and the Soshis and the preps and all of that. But the cross-pollination was the arcades, because video games became a very unifying thing. Like
now too, everything rolls into each other. Like what got me into video games got me into anime, which then spiraled me into D&D.
Oh yeah. Yeah, arcades were a gateway drug, and most of the things that are geekery today are gateway drugs. If you fall into one, you are inevitably going to touch circles of 2 or 3 or 4 of the others. And
that's what got me into Magic. Like it's crazy because I would think back, like when I got into like video games, anime was really quick right behind, and D&D. But I don't know why I did this, but I always thought Magic was like the line. Like I'll never get into Magic, whatever like that. But then, behold, like I saw someone hand me a pack of cards. Like these are kind of cool. Oh crap! There goes $500, and now I'm playing Magic.
I didn't have a chance. I got in on Alpha with Magic.
Oh, so the beginning.
I was in the Army. I was living in a small town, and one of the guys from another unit that I'd hung out with came in, and he had a couple of decks and a few boosters, and sat down and taught me the damn game, and that was it, dude. I was hooked, and I'd place down all my role-playing games and anything else that nothing else mattered for a good solid year or two except Magic. It was all I would eat, breathe, and drink.
I blame the army for making me into a bigger nerd. It was the military that made me into a bigger nerd.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was
absolutely.
It's a lot of like, you know, the rush and wait kind of mentality. Like,
Yeah.
what else were you doing? And then you're in the field, like especially when you're like just like you're doing your training out there. There's nothing to do for several hours. My One of my favorite regulations was we were playing Magic in one of our tents and just like kind of chilling because you had those hard cocks that like cocks, not cock. I mean cocks. I can't say it. Right, I'm sorry.
Clip it.
But yeah, damn it. But you had those things and you know they were like tables, so you're able to play the beds. I'm trying not to say it anymore because I know it's gonna come out if I say it again.
You're all good.
but yeah, so we're playing. I remember first started coming in going, all right, what are my soldiers up to today? And he just, you could see the disappointment of him looking at his men, just like, all like sitting on boxes and stuff, playing Magic, going, and like this one of us was like, we're playing Magic for Sarge. He's like, what is happening to my army? And just walked out.
Yep.
Just a bunch of us like out there with our cards and stuff. And it wasn't just me and a friend, it was like me and several other people. Like basically half the unit was playing Magic.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But you know, and that's where the cross-pollination began, I feel. And the military did really help a lot. But and then as time went on and the advent of the internet, the next thing you know, everybody who had an internet nerd was comfortable in outing that fact.
Yeah.
Because now that they saw that, hey, it's just a thing we were, you know, a fad we were exposed to, and that fad never went away, or it evolved into something else. And I think we all became closer for it, but there are some deep divides between fandoms, and that's the thing I just don't understand, because while I may not be a super fan of X, I still can respect why people might like it.
That's kind of how I was like with Shadowrun and some other. That's kind of how I am with Star Trek, because even though I don't really care for Star Trek, I do appreciate it, and I recognize it for being a smarter show than a smarter series than Star Wars. I think I was introduced at a Star Trek at the wrong time in my life, where it was like, you know, being younger and a kid, like I want to see explosions, spaceship battles, where Star Trek was a lot smarter,
a lot cerebral, a lot more cerebral.
Exactly. It's something I can appreciate now. It's hard for me to get into. I mean, it's something, and I have attempted it a few times. I think it just missed me, but it is something that even though I don't enjoy it, I do appreciate. I appreciate it for what it is, and I do acknowledge its accomplishments.
You might want to look at. You might want to look at some of the newer series, for example, Discovery or even Enterprise. They both were they've both been very good, very interesting from what I've seen, and I haven't seen very much of either one of them, I'll admit. But production value is very close to what we expect today, versus if you go back and watch original series of Next Generation, the thing that's always kicking in your mind that disallows your suspension of disbelief is the production values from those days. Oh my God, this whole set looks way too fake. Whereas what you see now lends to that, allowing you to get lost in what is going on without your eyes going, I cannot believe this because of that. I cannot believe this because of that. If you have a root in sci-fi, and I get why a lot of people don't get sci-fi. Yeah. They just don't have that imagination, which I'm not busting their balls for, because they have imagination that may lead another way. They can imagine things. I know this.
Which is probably a big divide between like the nerd culture itself, like sci-fi or fantasy kind of thing.
Exactly.
You do see less crossbreeding now, like a lot more like crossbreeding. This is a stupid way to put it, but a lot more like mix. I feel like not cyberpunk, but there is like some like what's that D&D setting that kind of mixes a little bit of both. If I think about it, if it comes to me, I'll mention it. But you do see that a little more now. But yeah, I do think that's where like that big line is between I like sci-fi or I like fantasy.
Yeah, and I'm firmly in the position of I like both. There are things I love about sci-fi. There's things I love about fantasy, and I love the mixing and matching. Shadowrun did that for me.
Yeah, Shadowrun.
It really brought every aspect of what I enjoyed about various genres of geekdom all into one house, and it did it very well, in my opinion. I'm talking first edition Shadowrun. I've had problems with every other edition of Shadowrun. They all have their pluses, they all have their minuses. Same with D&D. I've been a player from first edition. Every edition of D&D has had their pluses and their minuses. The only edition that had so many minuses that I did not want to play it. I played it once. I did play it, but I just could not get into it. Was the fourth edition.
And that's what I hear that so much too. Like I don't know how that period. There is a gap in my life where I just wasn't really playing role playing games like that, and that was it. There's a blank spot between when fourth edition came out and when I started getting back in when fifth edition was becoming more popular. I
discovered Pathfinder in that time, and I fell in love with Pathfinder, and that kind of held the bug for me, you know. But you know, all of it, and I've had various concentrations on hobbies throughout the years, and there has not been any that I have just left behind and say I am completely done with this, because I thought I was when I sold my Magic collection many years ago. I sold my Magic collection.
That's where I'm at right now.
And I picked up Yu-Gi-Oh! And Dragon Ball Z TCG and several others, and I've played the hell out of them.
I got the Digimon.
I've sold them,
Digimon
and I've picked up some others. I've got a couple of TCGs. I even got a few. I got a couple of starter packs and a few boosters of Magic back in 2018, I think it was, and played it again for a little while. So, it's been a long road, but I'm a happy geek that enjoys what I enjoy, and I enjoy a little bit of everything.
I was trying to cut back. So my thing is, I got into a phase. I kind of still do, where I wanted less clutter, and I got into because when one of my first big moves, I was like, well, I have too much stuff. I need to cut some of this back. So I was like, okay, what hobbies do I want to focus on? And so I sold my Magic cards because I was not really doing tournament scenes anymore, and I still kept the deck. You know, it's just to play every now and then. So I still kept 2 decks. Because also I had the full land art. So I kept all my full land art cards. I could not get rid of those for the life of me. I love them too much. But so I got rid of that. I'm thinking, all right, cool. And then I don't know what it is in the back of my mind going, I want to get into another another card game, but I just got out of Magic. So somehow I ended up on Digimon because I don't know, I'm weird like that.
Nothing wrong with it.
And now Magic released a couple of those cool sets, and I'm like, I can't go back in. I was already out. I can't go back in.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what they're designed to do, and those are the times where I just try to put on blinders. But every now and then, I'll walk into the store and I'll go, "Ooh, what's this?" And then I notice the logo over it and go, "Oh, you almost got me. You almost got me."
I thought it was good. I thought it was clean. I say like it's a drug problem, but which it kind of is in a weird way. But I thought I was clean when I was able to look past Magic's cross with D&D. When that set came out, I was like, I didn't go for it. I didn't buy them for any reasons.
Smart boy.
I am good. And then Warhammer, and then now the Warhammer Magic set just came out, and it's a battle again. It's like, those cards do actually look pretty good now.
Yeah, the cards look really good, and so do the minis, and I love both of them. Gimme.
Yeah, basically.
That's fair, dude. That's a tough battle, and it's one I hope you win in a positive way. Whatever way that ends up falling, I hope it's a positive for you. I really do. But yeah, there's been many years if I were to do an itemized list of all the hobby related stuff I've bought. Dude, I've rivaled in a year what I've paid out for mortgage some years on supporting all of my various hobbies.
No, I'm afraid to do that. Like,
I've done that a couple of times. It's bad, dude. It's bad.
And the thing is, I got that weird miniature bug, which is the most any nerd culture. Getting into anything is always expensive. Any hobby like that, D&D books are expensive, and I'm old school like that. I know it's a little cheaper now for people because you get the PDFs and all that. But I really want the books. Like, I love having the books. I love looking at my role playing shelf. But miniatures, if you get to any hobby with miniatures, that is the one that makes your bank account cry the most.
Oh yeah. It does. It can. It will. Quite literally will make your bank account, your wallet.
And people think about this much with storage. When I was really into Magic, like D&D books are books. You have a nice bookshelf, you put them up there, they look good, and you know where they're all at. Cards, there's a lot of good organizers, and they're flat. You can store them. But storing miniatures and making sure that they're safe, that was a challenge.
Couple of good ones there. Look at foam trays.
Oh, I got a couple of those already.
Couple of pinch foam trays.
Yep.
Or go to Home Depot and look for flip top toolboxes that have. Some of them have compartments for like, oh, here you put little screws and things here. It's easy to pack a little foam piece in there, put them in the end. And you have a nice handle for carrying to one army in this case, one army in this case. And if you can find a sale on those, bam, you are golden. Yeah. I have a friend who he's got 45 toolboxes for his miniatures. And they are all meticulously labeled with what game and what army they have on them. And then he's got, he'll have, in some cases, he'll have like the toolbox and a stack of like some milk crates that are face up so he can stack them. And each one of the milk crates has a label on it for the colossal version of the mini that goes with that army. And hey, we're gonna play Warhammer today, or we're gonna play Hordes today, or War Machine. Oh, we're gonna play War Machine. All right. What armies do you want me to bring? Hey, bring this army and this army. And he was like, can I bring Colossals too? Yeah, bring them.
Awesome.
So he grabs two or three toolboxes and 2 milk crates, and he's got everything he needs. And he's got his book and the dice sets either in the toolbox, or he's got another small milk crate that has, like the core rules and like 5 or 6 faction books, and then a dice bag.
Those faction books, too. Warhammer is the most expensive books I've ever bought in my life. I don't know what it is. Those books are so expensive, or why they price them so high. But yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. Honestly, I should probably look into that, because I have some phone cases where I keep my X-Wings and Warhammer figures at. But
welcome back, Wrench, and welcome back, Serena.
Oh.
And don't be nervous on defending your thesis. You've got this, girl. I got faith. So
and if they say you're wrong, you say no, you're wrong, and you stand your ground.
That's right. That's a valid argument. That's a valid argument. Anyways, one thing I'll try to do, I'll see if I can look at or get in touch with my buddy and find out the optimal tool chest he has for his Warhammer armies, and I'm 99% certain that he gets them at Home Depot. He just waits and looks, and he goes, "Man, I got too many minis for this army. I need a tool case." And then he'll wait, a week or 2 weeks or something, and he'll go to Home Depot. Hey, Home Depot's running a sale on tool chests, and he'll buy like 4 or 5 at a shot.
I have a dream. Like I've always been. I think I'm said this feeling, but I am definitely like a city guy. Like I do love living in the city. I like my environment. Never had a desire to get a house until I got into Warhammer, because I do want to. I want to.
You want a room for glass display cases along the walls and a table in the middle for your terrain,
and just to build stuff now. Like it's so like, because like I always think about, like, because my grandpa was an old school cowboy. He actually did, like, he worked farms all throughout, like, just the South, and then he even worked on a few ranches, and he was an old fashioned, like, cowboy, and I guess about like him, like, because he'll be building stuff and all that, and he spent his life, well, he's still alive, but he's a mechanic now, does mechanic work, and I always think about that, like, his days, like, I want to build this, learn woodworking to build this house for my family. Meanwhile, fast forward a couple of decades later, his grandson, I want to build terrain of an alien world. Like, somebody be using these skills for.
You know what?
I always laugh at that. I always think it's the greatest thing ever.
And we've got somebody here in the channel whose significant other does this, and that's a 3D printer, and it's something I have actually been thinking about, and it's a thing. Posture check for both of us from first time chatter, Possum Benny. Hey, thank you, and thanks for the lurk. I appreciate it.
My friend has a 3D printer, and the stuff that he makes is amazing. Like, it's something I really want to get, and I just want to be. I mean, I want to make terrain with that so bad.
Oh yeah, and dude, finding the blueprints, which now the actual name of those things escape me, is relatively easy to find, and you can get a lot of good ones out there for free. I actually compiled a few for some minis that I wanted to do 3D printing, because I've been looking at a couple of 3D printers, one resin one that I really, really want. I just have not gotten off my backside to pull the trigger, and then I discovered VTubing and and streaming, and I was like, oh, I need to get some stuff for this setup, and so the dream of adding 3D printing as a hobby of mine has kind of backseated, and maybe one day I can start getting donations for putting this content out there, and that would be great. And if it happens, wonderful. But if not, I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to keep enjoying doing this, because this is what I'm all about, is getting here, meeting new VTubers and promoting you guys, So that's what we're doing here. But hey, if people want to support me and add to that, where I can commission for some other stuff, like a better did I even? Yeah, see there. Like, I'm just showing my intro screen. I just made that up, but I would love to do something like this animated, where I could play the theme music and have an animation running that brings it all in, and make it like a true late night talk show. Kind of. Oh, stop. And I picked up this music, and I want to license this. This is this tune that I played at the beginning. That's a licensable tune that I could get a license for and make this the It's Crazy Late Show theme. And there's 2 versions I would love to get. This one is the shorter one at about 20 seconds, and then there's one that runs about a minute and a half, and it's got a low part, a break, where you can do kind of a voiceover, kind of like they do on late night talk shows. introducing the show and talking about the special guests and everything. And one other thing I want to figure out how to add at some point is I want to add where, we kind of do a talent portion when we get towards the end of, when the talking and the interviewing winds down and we want to just tell war stories and whatnot. Where, are you a gamer? Yeah, you're a gamer. What games are you playing? What 2-player games you got? You want to get in and play a round of Apex? You want to go in and play a little Call of Duty or whatever? Welcome back, Pancake.
Lunar Eclipse tomorrow? Yeah, I have to check that out.
Oh yeah, the lunar eclipse tonight, folks, and I think you are in a prime area for that.
Yeah, I know. It's
a little outside for me, and I think we got some cloud cover. Hits its height in an hour. All right, we're gonna end this within an hour, so you can get out there and watch that.
I'm in a high area too. Like my building's up. I might have to actually get out of the city because of light pollution though, which I did plan to. I'm gonna go pick up some food later.
Yeah, but since you drive, it doesn't take long once you get outside. You've got a little bit of sprawl, but it's not too bad. You drive a little ways and you're outside of it. That's one thing I loved about visiting Toronto and stuff. The areas that I was in when I was up there, there was one area I just get on this road that just is an straight line arrow north. And in 5 minutes, I was outside of light pollution. In 20 minutes, I could actually see the northern lights. And it was beautiful. It was glorious.
So, but I'll say the thing about Cincinnati, which that severely disappointed me. So when I moved downtown, I was thinking like, awesome, I'm gonna be in the middle of the city. I can eat whenever there's gonna be food open all the time, and everything closes like around 9. So even in the damn city, like everything is closed. I have to leave to go find food sometimes if I don't cook.
A lot of that is the result of the pandemic, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Some of it is, but there was already places that are like this was already like that to begin with. I don't know what it is. Like I think you only get, at least in my area of the city, there's like bars are always open, of course, but as far as food places, like. I mean, I think at most close at 12.
Yeah, Blaze, you have an amazing, you're in an amazing area for locating or being able to see celestial events.
Oh yeah.
He's in a place that very rarely gets cloud cover, and if not, he can drive up a volcano and get past it in most cases.
Oh, that's yeah. Also, there's definitely with
all right, Pancake, you have a good one, brother. We'll talk to you again later.
Hydrates.
Oh yeah, we got some hydrates. Thank you for the hydrates, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah, more points, you would have been 5.
Damn it, I gotta get another one.
Yeah, what was that solar eclipse a while back? That was actually really nice around here.
Yeah, we actually that may have been the same one we got. It basically came right over us and then right over you. Yeah, there was a couple of years ago, or several years ago, we had a great solar eclipse come through. It was amazing. We were at work when it hit, and everybody, the executive vice president was also our branch manager. He just said, "We're just shutting down for an hour. Everybody go out there. So cool. Everybody go out there and watch it. I know we're not going to get anything done with this thing going on." So it was perfect. It was perfect. But what else what was I talking about? I forgot something. I forgot where the hell I was, what we were doing. Oh, we were no, that wasn't it.
Oh shit, I forgot too. What were we talking about before we got sidetracked again? I forgot.
I forgot too, so it must not have been important. Yeah, I'm even looking back in chat and I've got no clues. I got no clues. Because we got to talking about celestial events.
Yeah, exactly.
Is what drove us off. Oh man, I'm really at a loss. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm blanking too. I can't think of it.
And I guess it must have been really boring for everybody in chat, because they said, they were like, we're gonna hit him with this, just blindside him with this current event that's happening out there. Go watch it.
Oh, I think you're talking about like terrain stuff, because I was talking about like how
3D printing.
Why. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense actually.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay, so I do recognize that too, because it is one, like, if you come up to me like and talk to me about like terrain design for like role playing tables, like I can listen to you all day. But I understand some people kind of come in and go like, "What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Like, what are you talking about? Like, what?"
Yeah, because
Oh no! Somebody said weebs like it's an insult to me.
and you caught right where I was going.
Suck my fucking dick.
You caught where I was going, Mantis. Yeah, we are super weebs, we are super geeks, and the thing is we are well-rounded geeks. And I get that there are some that are not well-rounded, that are, they've got their one, maybe two fandoms, or three, and that's their thing. Your crazy aunt, she's a horror buff, she's a horror movie buff, and if it ain't horror movies, she really doesn't give a damn. She really doesn't. And although she will watch the occasional Star Trek, if it ain't horror movies, or no matter how bad, A-list, B tier, C tier, D tier, she will watch any level of that alphabet. What is the worst horror movie that's out there? I want to see it. Is her kind of thing. The worst production value, the worst acting. We sat down and we watched Velocipaster. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I was actually about to ask if you guys watch
Sofa Apocalypse or something like that. It was a sofa that went around killing people.
The horror movies are the most amazing. Like
Llama Apocalypse. Oh my god. And some of these are our favorites, I mean, you are talking to somebody who has all of these Sharknadoes on Blu-ray.
But you can't I feel like you cannot sit down and enjoy like a B romance, a B action maybe, but B horror movies are a special level of just quality and greatness. I just can't think of any other genre where it would match.
B and C action movies have their own have their own joy. Absolutely. Yeah. And I've watched some really, really bad rom-coms, that were C and D level as well. Don't get me wrong. I've enjoyed them. But yeah, no, horror movies, top tier, no matter how bad it is. Even the worst ones out there are works of art. Action movies, when you start getting down into the bottom of the dumpster, like Super Mario Brothers from back in the day.
About that. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I had to bring it up because, just when you think you've been able to push that one out of your mind, somebody has to go back and remind you, and then you're like, oh, that does exist. That is a thing. And, hey, it's what we do. If I had to see it, you have to remember it. Kind of thing.
They're finally going after and trying to make another big Mario movie. So that movie scarred them. They're trying to get back into it, but
yeah. And as much as I love Chris Pratt, is he the right choice for the voice of Mario?
Well, it's like, why not? And I get the argument too, and I think it's a good argument too to be had. Like, why did you just get the voice actor for Mario? There's already a voice actor for him you could throw in there.
That is true. However, it's going to be a live action, isn't it? Or is it going to be? Is it going to be a hybrid like the Sonic stuff? I don't know.
It was like the Sonic would be pretty good. I saw the Sonic 2 movie, and it was really, really good.
Well, anything had to be good compared to Sonic 1.
Yeah. Well, they fixed all that. It's weird that one of the better video game movies that came out is Sonic. That is just, I don't know why. I feel like that's a level of irony where we live in a very weird timeline because the Sonic movies are actually doing well.
Yeah. I'll admit I have not seen either one of them, and
I recommend it.
it's just a personal. It's a personal choice.
I get it.
You know, one day I'm going to be surfing Netflix and I'm going to be like, okay, why not? But for some reason, they just don't strike me as I've got to see this right now. You know, I've got to see this on opening day. And I hate to say it, but fewer and fewer movies have gotten there. I still haven't seen No Way Home because...
I haven't seen it either, actually.
Yeah, because
my roommate told me about it, but...
I'm just too lazy to get off my ass and go to a theater. I am waiting for it to come out on a streamable platform, and I know it was out and I missed it for a little bit. It was on either HBO Max or something, and I just missed it. Well, whatever. And that's another thing. I have all of these streaming platforms, and it's getting so hard to say, what do I want to watch? There is nothing good on any of these at all.
I've been watching a lot more YouTube lately.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to say, but like, well, me and my friends have like that thing going on where it's like, you have Disney, I have this, whatever. So we got access to all of them at this point.
Yeah.
Like, it's same boat where it's just like, this is stupid, but I actually, like, with all those choices, I found myself watching that 7-hour documentary about is that old Nickelodeon show Victorious for some stupid reason.
Oh, dude! Now that's something I will look up and check out.
It was very interesting because they go through all the bits of also the other one, the other big, the Garfield one, which goes into like philosophy and stuff and about like the what it means to be the guy from Garfield, which is like a couple hours long. Like I found myself watching more stuff like that than anything else lately.
Yeah. Well, me lately, honestly, I've been watching Chinese and Korean dramas. The one I'm watching right now, which has actually been pretty interesting. It doesn't rate up to the one I feel it is closely tied to, but it is still good. It's called Falling Into Your Smile, and it's about a female gamer who joins an esports group in China and takes them to the on to win the national title or something in this particular game. It reminds me of King's Avatar. I think King's Avatar did it so much better, but I am still very much enjoying Falling Into Your Smile. Enough so that I've binged the first 8 episodes, maybe 9, I don't know, and I will finish it here in the next day or two, as I get time. So, but today, I actually had every intention of watching 2 or 3 episodes before I started prepping for stream today. But no, I sat out on the back porch, enjoying a little sunlight and just sitting there being a bump on the log. And I killed my phone battery, not once, but twice, because I killed it, put it in, charged, took a nap while it was charging, grabbed it, and then killed it a second time watching YouTube videos. Specifically, VTubers.
That's waiting for it to go down.
Yeah, so, you know, and none of their live content. It was all just previous stuff. And some of it was like, man, I just can never not watch this video, you know?
That's why I went to HoloLive. I don't think I've ever watched HoloLive, anyone live. I always watched a lot of their content, like old like past videos and stuff like that.
I've watched several live. As a matter of fact, when Mousy was doing her subathon back in February, dude, I was on wake up to go to sleep. Dude, I was in there watching.
That was like 11 days, wasn't it? That
dude,
was crazy.
That was 32 days.
Oh,
she was on, and I was there. I was actively chatting. I was in there all the time. If I was not at work or asleep, I was in there. And
I was like constantly jumping in and out. But yeah, that was crazy though.
Oh, it was funny. I had a couple of people. We went on a family vacation. We went to Disney.
Oh, nice.
And I was walking around Disney with the fam, and I would pull out my phone as secretly as I could, and I would turn on Iron Mouse and watch for 15 or 20 minutes, and I had strangers coming up poking over my shoulders. How's she doing? A couple of people, you're watching Iron Mouse? How's she doing? And I say, she's she's got 9 hours left on the counter. She's up to this many subs, and they're like, who she got on right now? Just a couple of strangers walking up. You're watching Iron Mouse? Cool. How's it coming along? But yeah, it was just it was funny. My wife was like, put down the damn phone, turn it off, save your freaking battery, take some pictures of what we're doing. I've already taken pictures. I'm done with this place. We've been here since the park opened. It's only been open an hour and a half, Dave. But it's 90 million degrees and we're in the middle of February. I'm dying. Yeah, I hate you people. You picked the wrong damn month.
I'm actually excited. So this August, I'll be going back to where I'm originally from, which is Texas, in San Antonio, to go visit family. Just do a big family thing with my mom's side of the family. I'm gonna say family like 8 more times, but so I'm very interested in going down there and explaining this whole thing to them. My stepmom's side of the family they're not traditional, but they're very it's a very big Hispanic family. And I just can't wait to just go down there and it's not a nerdy family. They're more mechanics, they're more into cars, more in sports, and they play video games here and there, but they just don't know about this nerdum world of VTubing, D&D and stuff like that. Except for my uncle. It's
the underbelly of nerddom, the VTuber.
Well, my uncle's actually in the D&D. There's actually a funny story why, but so it's gonna be fun going down there and be like, yeah, that's what I do on the side. Explaining this whole world to them is gonna be fun. So
you're gonna pack up the whole setup, and they're gonna see that, and they're gonna be, oh Mio, this is awesome.
Basically,
this is pretty cool. And all right, what else do you need? And you're gonna end up having to come back. Where the hell do I pack this third monitor?
Yeah, I'm really excited to see it. Let's just explain everything to them because it's going to be interesting. This is something that's just not in their realm where they didn't care less or keep track of it. I don't even know if they even know such a thing exists. So it's just be fun because I remember I was down there last time I was down there before the pandemic hit. I was talking about VR, and my brother was like, "So you're a nerd, huh?" Immediately, just trying to explain VR was a very fun thing.
Oh yeah. Do you have a VR rig set up at all?
Oh yeah. I got the Oculus.
How do you like the Oculus?
I love it. I think it's a good one for its price and everything like that. I very much enjoy it. I got the portable one now.
Nice.
So yeah, I can bring me because describing VR is really hard unless you show people VR.
You see, and this kind of alludes back to how I helped my buddy understand the Matrix in Shadowrun. Is when I read it, I immediately understood what AR was, even though it wasn't a thing. I understood what VR and AR were. I understood the concepts because of the way it was presented. I was like, it's there in my head. I understand the Matrix. I understand what that is. And this was right around the time that William Gibson had come out with his cyberpunk stuff. And so it was there ingrained in my brain somehow. And I understood it on a visceral level. And when it actually started to come to pass, I was like, oh my God, we have arrived. Not really, but we're close. We're close. I have a PlayStation VR, and I got it hooked up to my PS5, and I haven't touched it in a minute because every time I do, I play Beat Saber until I fall over and am wheezing for breath and going, inevitably I'm alone, but I've got the headset on going, somebody call 911, I'm having a heart attack. This fat old man doesn't know when to stop, and I overdo it. But
I almost got sick playing VR when I was playing No Man's Sky in VR.
Oh.
The ship controls are crazy, though. Eventually, when I got over it, I started playing Squadron, that Star Wars game.
I was about to ask if you tried Squadron. Oh my god, it's so good.
It's so amazing, and I love the cockpit, the ships, because it is like that.
Oh, we got a posture check. We got a posture check. Check yourself.
Myself here. Thank you. But yeah, they but like the cockpit of the ship matters because that affects your view. So when you're flying like a TIE wing or A-wing, like because an A-wing has a lot more, you can see a lot more versus the TIE fighter where you got that narrow window. Like, man, no one's on my left right now.
Yeah, and on the X-wing looking, that every one of the cockpits are. They put a lot into that. It's really great. It's really great. Now where I was going with all of this is there is a system, and I'll be damned if I can remember it. I'm going to look it up, and I will throw links out there, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit more in the future. But you're a nice, well-rounded geek. How did you like Sword Art Online?
I never really got into it, unfortunately. It kind of missed me.
You should watch.
I like the idea of it, though.
Blaze, you're killing me, dude. I want that. I want that. But, okay, so this has to do with basically that system, how they get to the virtual reality. It's called a full dive suit. And basically, it is a helmet very similar to the VR goggles that we've got, only it just kind of sits over your head. But to use the system in there, they lay down on a bed, and they use hand and foot controls. So they can actually, just by flexing their feet a little bit, they actually can move and walk around in the virtual reality. Blaze, that really is killing me. Subnautica VR, I want that.
They have Subnautica VR, but it's not motions though. So Subnautica VR is controller. In fact, actually, I used to have a problem with that, but X-Wing's the same thing. So I might try. a Subnautica VR soon. Actually,
I may have to look into that. Although I don't have Subnautica on the PlayStation, I've got it on the Xbox Series X. Whatever, I'll figure it out. Anyways, where I'm going with it is there is in development, and I think the Kickstarter's over for it. I'll have to check. But they did a Kickstarter for a full dive virtual reality system.
Oh, really?
Yes. Something very similar to what was in Sword Art Online. And it is a system where you use it, you lay down on a bed, on a couch or something. You will lay on the headset, because that's one of the things that's always been a challenge for them. To be able to put more power into it means that they need more cooling. And this one has it's kind of built onto a pillow-like device, but it has multiple fans for cooling. So the weight of the headset is heavier than what you're used to. However, you're laying down, so it's not a problem. And it's got better ocular controls, which will give you a better field of actual field of view for how they do it. They'll be able to render a better peripheral vision for you. There are more fans that will be able to utilize environmental data so that they can program breeze in the AR world to actually blow across your face so you'll feel that. Things like that. A true surround sound system in the headset so that you will actually, you won't just have left sound, right sound. You will have a true 360 degree sound, or however you measure the entire globe. So if it's above you you'll hear that, versus if it's lower than you or if it's straight out in front of you, to your left, to your right, no matter what position it is in relationship to you, you'll hear it from that position. And then it has a set of foot controls, so it could add walking motion to it. So there's so much to this system, and it just, everything about it in the conceptual and what they've been able to design up to this point just seems absolutely amazing, and in the perfect direction to be able to get to that full dive scenario.
Basically the end game for VR, because that's what people are trying to get to at this point.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, and I so would be there. And
I would be excited for it as well. I
would be so an addict. I'm not gonna deny it. I'm not gonna deny it. Let's see. All right, let's see. I want the VR system that has the pad that you can walk, and it's like a treadmill that works in all directions. I won't be happy until you get to the point where where a real body's going, and we are actually in the system. Blaze, I am 100% with you. And then you can just freeze my body for science fiction. And I will just become I will just become a consciousness in the net. I have no problem with that. That's how I want to continue to live. That's what my Shadowrun character did, basically.
Become one with the net.
Yes. All right. You know what? I want to get you out there so that you can view your lunar eclipse. Oh, yeah. So let's close this out, and this is what I got for you for the closeout. I want you to list to me all the socials you have with your channel, so that everybody out there watching knows where to find you in the future.
Of course, Twitch, but also I have MarlowRaku, MarlowRaku the PI on Twitter. Is that my full Twitter handle? Hold on.
Yes.
Let me double check that. Yeah,
I'm actually looking at that right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to copy and paste these in real quick if I can.
Twitch.
Bring my mouse
as
up.
right now, that's it. There is a YouTube channel, but it's not set up properly yet. And also, when I was setting it up, it gave me 2 for some reason. So I'm trying to figure that out. But for right now, it's just Twitch and Twitter.
No. My mouse died. All right, I'm going to have to do this the old-fashioned way. Boom, boom. Control C. Let's go into the chat. There are the 2 socials that I have for Marlow.
Yes.
So please, if you only follow me, please jump over to his channel, give him a follow, and catch him, because he's Marlow's great, and his gameplay, he has some wonderful commentary and some wonderful comments and interactions when he plays. He's so much fun to watch and so much fun to talk to. So please go give him a follow, and check him out on the Twitters, and give him a follow there. And you guys out there, if you guys know of any VTubers, newly debuted, freshly debuted, or some smaller VTubers that need some exposure or anything, send them to me. Send them in my direction, and let me see if we can open up a conversation and get to talking with them, and get them to come on the show, and we can get them here on the couch and ask them questions and put their feet to the fire about the nerd behind the mask, as well as what they're all about and what got them doing this in the first place. Marlow, my friend, it's been fantastic having you here with us for the last 3.5, almost 4 hours.
Yeah, it's been great being here. I like this. This is great.
I've enjoyed this so much, and like I said, look forward to seeing where you go and what you're doing in the future, and hope everything goes well for you. And if you ever find yourself in in Atlanta or wanting to come to Atlanta, come on down, brother, and maybe we can make some kind of arrangements, and we'll get out and go out and do something and touch some grass. Lord knows I
Sounds
need
good.
to. Maybe we could go to a jazz club or something.
Oh, that'd be nice.
I'll send you some information on Dragon Con. It's one of the bigger cons, but I've got some other conventions that I'd like to go
Wait,
out
is
and check out.
DragCon in Atlanta?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Me and my friends have been talking about going to more cons. That actually sounds like up our alley.
Yeah, Dragon Con is like the southeast, the East Coast version of San Diego Comic-Con. We cover all of the. It's a true fandom convention. We cover role-playing games, cinema, and television, and writing. Fan fiction. We have several authors that come down out every year. TV and movie personalities that come out that have been associated with some of our favorite shows. Mainly science fiction and fantasy, but we've even had some that have showed up that were not part of that, and role-playing games, writers, developers, designers, video game developers. Many years ago, we had Gearbox come out for their setup for their launch for Borderlands 2, and that was so fun, so amazing. Bands, if you're into music, we've got all that going on. Yeah, but dragoncon.org, I can throw that one in there too, maybe. There's
Got big again.
there's that link, and of course I got big again, and my mouse is dead. This is going to be really difficult because my mouse is dead. And I don't know. Guess what I can't do? Wow, how did my mouse die? I just changed this battery. One of my biggest complaints I've got here is that I had this mouse. I bought this mouse many years ago when I got a laptop. The battery for it lasted for 4 years until it died, the manufacturer's battery. The battery died about 4 months ago. Since then, I've changed the battery out every 2.5 to 3 weeks. I've not had a battery last as long as the manufacturer battery yet, or even come close to it. It's ridiculous.
Well, I always think about because I always think about that with like phones, like the old.
Thanks,
LG
Blaze. I
phones
got
are
it,
so
bro.
much better.
Yeah. All right. So, guys, anybody got any last words, last questions, last anything for Mr. Marlow? Go check him out. Give him a hit on the follow on the Twitter and on the Twitch, and check him out. I highly, highly, highly recommend him. He's an amazing guy. Marlow, it has been an honor and a pleasure having you here on the couch today. Brother, you have a good one. Go catch that. Go catch that.
I'm about to head out and get some food.
Yeah, get that food. Yeah. Oh, Blaze wants to give you a head pat. I need to set up head pats. You got a head pat. Hey, he's got head pats set on his thing. So as a redeem, I thought you did. I thought you had.
No, I have ear set. I can do the ear thing.
Oh, you have the ear wiggle. That's right.
Yeah, because I was actually trying to do head pats, and I couldn't get it to work, so I'm still working on that.
All right. Well, I'll see if I can figure it out.
Get it one day.
We'll get it for you. All right, Marlow, you can take care, brother, and
you too.
I'm gonna go and let you get on, and I'm gonna talk to my folk here for a minute because I want to talk about a couple of other things that we got going on. And let's see, where was it? I gotta find it. I know where it is. Yeah, what I want to talk about is if you stop over on my my Discord, I will link that here in a second when I get back on that.
I'll be heading out though, but it was good being on here though. See,
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Why did I disappear? If you go over into my Discord and you go under, not that, you go under The Good Works, I believe it's called. Yes. The Good Works. Got a couple of shout outs here for some folk. I've got Anime Jane, friend of the show. Her mother has an emergency medical fund that we're looking for, a little GoFundMe, that if anybody would be interested in giving to that. Her mother has ended up in the hospital a couple of times after testing COVID positive, and has had some difficulties from that. And then also our friend Blaze has been having some issues with his main bit of transportation, trying to help him get back on his feet. So we've got a GoFundMe there to get him going. Good to see him back and joining us in the show. And Blaze, very much, very happy to have you back. And I think I'm back in here. There we go. Yeah, I'm back in here. I just gotta... Why did I sync? There we go. There we go. We're back. Yay. So yes, please, at my Discord, and thank you for linking that, Blaze. I appreciate that. But yeah, there's my Discord, and those are under The Good Works, and I would very much appreciate anybody in the community that could help these folks out in their times of need. They'll help you out in return at some point, or we pay it forward. That's the kind of people we are. So, with that, I think it are about time to... Let's see if we can find somebody to raid. It's been a great show, great evening, great company. Oh, that's not that. I'm glad I didn't hit that. So bear with me while I look for rateables. Who have we got? All right. Rateables. Oh, shoot. Did it stop? Okay. Who have we got? No, it didn't. Mute that. All right. Let's see. Who have I got? Who have I got? Who have I got? I know who we're going to go see. Let's get into a little bit of action. We're going to go see Diamond Killer. One of the friends of our group over here at one of our friends over here with the likes of Sea Wrench and all of these, Sea Wrench and Lizzie and Nightmare Tia and all of them. So let's go see our buddy Diamond Killer. So you guys have a great night. Be nice, have fun, enjoy spending some time with Diamond Killer. I have loved having you, and I'm going to look forward to my next guest. I don't know who it's going to be. Let's see, but we will be reaching out to a couple of people, and like I said, if any of you have anybody you would love to see come talk to us, feel that they need a little spotlight, let's get them a little spotlight. I may not have many people, many of us to join, but maybe we can all grow from this. So I would love to have you, have them come along, and love to have you guys come along. Get Iron Mouse. Oh, I would love to have Iron Mouse. And, you know, she's the wrong kind of small streamer. Nothing wrong with being 4'11". My youngest daughter is about that. So, and I love her to death. But I'm thinking Iron Mouse may not give me the time of day. So let's go see Diamond Killer.